Making that secret.
Oh boy. All right, let's get to work.
All right, I think, hey,
Hey there. Now we're grooving.
Isaac, hello.
Hello.
Good to see you.
Yep.
Where are you? Whoa,
I might have to change my permissions.
your permissions?
Yeah.
On what?
For my camera.
Oh, that's okay. We could see it. But so where are you guys? I forgot.
At my karate place.
Oh, okay.
Then we have,
I got it.
yeah, we have. Yeah, we have, then we have an archery tournament.
Sweet. Okay, so we're going to talk about the international competition scenario today. And I'm going to share my screen. And I'll just share which screen though? Share this screen, which has nothing on it, but can you see the screen with the glass tiddlywinks or whatever they are?
Yeah,
Yeah.
okay.
Cool.
Concave lenses.
Yeah, they do look like lenses. So let me see here. I got here a little early, but we've been chumming around. So what I haven't found was, let me look on GitHub really quick. Alt is going away. Yeah. I don't really care about that. Let's pull this over here. And that was interesting. CDC 2015. I wonder what's in that one. I have the scenario. That's the oh, that looks like a summer one almost. So
Why is there so many Python scripts?
I think that's where we rolled in to this. Oh, here they all are.
If you don't have 20 Python scripts in your home directory for an inexplicable reason, then you have failed as a developer.
I have 20 Java scripts.
Because these are for
Well, Java programs in my home directory.
these are for the whole year, not just for the
Scripts in my Python scripts directory. That's the same thing. If you don't have that, then you have failed.
Here we go.
Bro, I have uninstalled the system Python.
Okay. So
I don't know what to say.
okay, want full attention on this today so that everybody can focus regardless of their native multitasking abilities. So this is the scenario from yon years in the past, same logo, I believe.
Yes.
And this is spring 2014. And so this is the scenario set up, right? Hi, I'm Patricia Williams of Classified Defense Contractors. They used to go out of their way to make it be a CDC acronym. And blah, Russian mafia, blah, blah, blah.
The Russian mafia.
Russian mafia.
That's what they chose. That's great.
So that was the intro letter setting the scenario up. And then a little bit telling you that they're going to have DNS you can use, and you may include pfSense. You may include Active Directory because this was probably all on Linux. Those are not required. You could have a backup solution, not required, but yeah, it wasn't a bad idea. And then they went on to describe each server, right? There was a corporate web server, a development environment on SSH. What else? Let me not scroll. Let's do that. An employee task management system, whatever that was, I don't remember. And an RDP server we had to set up. And that probably had to be set up, if I remember right, to run applications and not just to connect to it, which is a different kind of RDP trick. So I wanted to practice what we're going to be doing today. Okay. And then you're going to do it. We did the same thing last year. I'm going to set up a private repo. And what we're going to do, first thing we need to do is turn a document that looks probably a lot like this one into a set of requirements. And the requirements we're going to put them into GitHub as issues. So they become our tasks, our initial tasks.
Gotcha.
And what I want to make clear, because I think I mentioned in GitHub that last year we started to get into the weeds about how to do things, right? And so one group got done way ahead of another group and stuff. I want to, and I've said this, but I just want to make clear that what we're trying to do is to surgically and in a sterile manner transfer the statements about the servers into GitHub as requirements without really a lot of elaboration, right? If we do this right, it probably doesn't take too very long. So let's look at this first one. And let me try to.
Is this still the 15?
This one that's being shared.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And so that's the whole thing right there. That's legible. And you tell me.
They provide much less information than they did.
They do.
Or than they do here.
But you guys tell me what you see. Everybody can give me one, but once you give me one requirement, wait until we go to another server. Everybody tell me what you would put into GitHub issues as a requirement from this write-up. And tell me where, obviously tell me where you get it, but it'll probably be obvious.
Administrator should be able to log into the website and create posts.
There we go.
I don't know,
Whoops.
I think like
Up,
website
down.
were
Required app.
verified.
This one, right?
Which the website will almost never actually work on the first shot. There's always some kind of code that's like botched, some
Yeah.
kind of like port that's not configured correctly. So
I mean,
there's
that goes
always
without
always something that it's also the
Murphy's Law, anything that can go wrong will.
well, not only that, but when they say that something's working on the first shot, hint it's not, because they said the exact same thing about a Linux box that was joined to Active Directory, but I had to spend a full week actually getting it joined to Active Directory because they screwed it up.
That
So
Wasn't even remotely surprised.
yeah, so when they say that something's working, it's not
Bunch
working.
of hooey.
You have to actually fix it.
Okay, so Tristan, this might be the kind of conversation we need to avoid when we're doing this, because we took, let's see. So Michael told us this in one sentence, and then we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 paragraphs from it, which was really long. And so that kind of thing will slow us down. That's for later discussion, right, when we go to implement it. So we want to stay focused on the requirements when we do this. It's all good
Yeah,
points,
well,
right?
I say that because, for instance, on the Active Directory box in this current situation, and in this current competition, they say that it's going to be like that. They have verified that everything's going to work.
Mhm.
I say that because it's not working, and
Right
we are
around
going
the
to have to actually make it work.
So what's the requirement?
The requirement would be Active Directory, like if they say that the administrator already has full access privileges to the website, one of the requirements should be administrator has full administrator privileges to the website.
Okay, does it say that here? Administrator always has.
On the on this one, no. However, on the competition of 25.
We're not looking at that. We're looking at this, right? So do you see a requirement in this document that we would put into GitHub as an issue?
Administrator SSH capabilities.
I'm
I want Tristan to pull one right now.
gonna second Isaac's here.
So the second
Dangerous,
bullet
I
point,
like it.
administrators need
Yeah.
SSH access to the system and the ability, well, so is this one requirement? Administrators need SSH access to the system and the ability to manage MySQL database.
I mean, I would
Those are good.
actually, I mean, it depends on what the scope of the administrative capability, because we could just say like, we have a designated SQL administrator. And do like
No.
isolated.
I
Or does if the administrator,
I think that we can. We just have to list it in our green documentation. If you want to manage the SQL database via an administrator, make sure to SSH as this administrator.
yeah.
But if
As
we're
long as
gonna
we
verify
clearly-
this,
clearly
Michael, you're
So,
shaking your head no.
because So on our any competition that we're going to be doing, they're most likely going to have an Active Directory
Yeah.
with groups specifically saying they are an administrator. If it says administrator, they need to be every single administrator needs to do these things.
So
If we try to isolate it, now one can't and we'll lose points.
Well, that's for global administrator. Isaac's idea is the same concept as using service accounts for websites and for like applications.
It's user isolation.
Yeah,
The principle of least privilege.
Mm.
If they only need an account to do nothing but SQL administration, unless that administrator needs to do anything else, they only have permission to do just that.
so right now, we're talking about how to do it.
Yeah,
right.
we fall in trap in that
Yeah.
again, huh?
So my question on here, somebody might put this in as a single requirement. But if I took this up in GitHub as a single issue, here's my questions. How do we designate administrators in Linux? And all we can assume right now is that it's Linux from this document,
Mhm.
right? So a Active Directory later is how,
Mhm.
right? So
Gotcha.
in Linux or whatever, how do we designate administrators?
Create a user, add them to a group.
Group membership, right?
Yeah.
How do we designate people that can use SSH? At the very basic level,
Yeah.
SSH config, right? Or something like that. How do we designate people that can manage MySQL?
Group,
I don't
I think.
It's internal to MySQL,
It
right?
is?
We'll just,
Oh, that's
yeah.
right. Yes.
So there's
Yeah, you're right.
3 different ways to get something done.
Mhm.
So, and the way that they're asking us to pair it is admins with SSH and admins with MySQL. So I think that if I got this ticket, I started to look at it, I'd be like, wait, these are 2 different things, right?
Yeah.
So, but if somebody put it in as one, it's not the end of the world, right? Because when you go to figure it out, you'll either take on 2 and it'll just be a little quirky. But hopefully you'd split it into 2, I think.
So kind of what I'm seeing here, we need to create an administrator account that has access to the www directory, /www, and then access to MySQL.
Yeah, well,
that's all
logging
we
onto the
created.
website, we'd have to look, we would just say log into the website
Yeah.
in here. Typically logging into the website, that's an app login. So that
Yeah.
won't be access to var www, it'll be some record in the app.
Oh,
In the-
gotcha. Okay.
yeah.
It'll be managed by Apache. Okay.
Yeah,
Cool.
and
So that makes that easy.
and then new guys alert, I guess you're the only one right now. They'll usually put plain text passwords in the app database.
Yeah.
And then
Yeah.
we have to do something to the code to hash them so that they're not like, oh, I have the database keys, now I can read the passwords.
Why? What?
That's something they'll booby
So,
trap for us.
They
They set you up
so
to fail on that one?
Oh,
Murphy's
yeah.
So
Okay, well,
Isaac,
that's
picture
good to know.
Murphy's Law, but somebody is intentionally doing Murphy's Law. For instance, website. What's the smartest idea to run a website as?
Not root.
Service account. What's it going to be running as?
Root.
It's going to be running as root.
Let's default.
MySQL. Well, like beyond just that, what's the smartest idea for a cron job?
Oh.
Don't have a cron job. Reset your passwords.
Yeah.
What are they going
Or
to
just
do?
in general, don't use Chrome.
Yeah.
Not only are they going to implement Murphy's Law, they're going to purposely put things in there
So
that
kind of
will
what I'm
make
seeing
you
here, though, that's not necessarily Murphy's Law. That's just doing the absolute bare minimum because a lot of what you're describing is default.
Well,
Like, no,
they will add some things.
Yeah, they
So,
will add multiple.
I
things that
kind of
make
got
it
us off the
run
track
right.
this time, but in addition to these requirements, what we're basically saying is that we have to scrub the servers. And
Okay.
I've got a checklist that helps with
Scrubbing.
some of that, yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay.
So obviously we got these required services. Also, there will be flags. They'll give us these files. The files will have some like GUID or something in them. And
Long text
the
or
red
text.
team, if the red team can read that file, we lose points.
Okay.
So on this server, we'll have to put a flag in the root home directory, which is there instead of in the normal home folder. And if they can get access to the root directory and read it, we lose points. One other thing is that some of the requirements might be hiding up here. Boy, you cannot see my highlights. What's going on up in this first paragraph? And I think I kind of see one that's subtle. Where was it?
It's a bunch of web server using
Or-
Apache. It's Apache and Flask, and they must be using
No,
Apache.
Don't provide that.
Right up there. As part of the website, we have job boards where visitors must be able to search for available positions.
Yeah, so I would, this is just something we'd want to keep track of,
Okay.
because if we lose that,
Mm.
maybe it's done at first, but then if we lose it at some point, we have to go.
Yeah,
full thing up.
visitors need to. We can add that as a get issue. Visitors must be able to search the
Yeah.
database.
And this is a little different than the admins being able to log in. They must be able to log in and create posts.
Well, it says
Right.
that in required access.
Oh, it does.
It does.
You're right. I'm
So
wrong.
beyond that,
Fine.
this year what they did, if you can see it, I'm not going
That's from the-
into detail.
yeah.
However, as part of the requirements, we could also list when they say as part of the website, we have job boards where visitors might be able to search for available positions. This year, they did a big diagram containing every single application and their relationship to each other. So
That's nice.
so
I see- I
now,
can
yeah,
see it
yeah,
on your
right there,
laptop,
as
yeah.
part of the like requirements beyond just visitors must be able to log in and search for available positions. We should also search for starting at the web server. Is the web server scrubbed? Can the web server access Ruby on Rails? Can the web server access Next.js?
Mhm.
It's like every single individual application has to
I'm
be
so glad they
scrubbed.
Yeah, you can decide on this document, you can determine what the appropriate containment is for each link
Exactly, yeah.
and build requirements out of that.
Yeah.
So, and obviously there were like 4 servers here, and yeah, it's not like this year's. Let me, whoops. The
I think
team
that's
stuff just got in my way.
Yeah, okay.
So,
Classic Zoom style.
Yeah. What's I put it in Zulip, that link
The
for the docs.
20 I can send a link to these guys here, honestly. I keep on closing out Zulip. Bring it on. If you don't have it, let me know.
Got it. Look at what I did. I put the link right there,
Yes.
just like I expected to not have it in. Oh, so here's the VPN file. Use it with OpenVPN. And it's- If I remember right, it's easier to use from Linux than it is from Windows for some reason.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
OpenVPN. It's just VPNs are just so easy on Linux.
Well,
Yeah.
on there now
I'm using
now
one
you
right
can
now.
RDP. Well,
WireGuard.
So
that's the
Hey,
best thing about
I
that
wanna
is
set
now
that up.
now you can actually copy and paste in on the virtual machines instead of having to use the online
well,
consoles.
and everybody can have their own SSH
Exactly,
session.
yeah.
Yeah, instead of one web console, everybody can have their
Now,
own
now,
session.
on the subject of SSH, SSH is going to be configured incorrectly and very insecurely. So you can try and log in via SSH, but it's either not going to work or it's going to like just let you in without a password.
And what I
So-
would suggest for SSH on the VPN is everybody use your own, generate and use your own key pairs. And
Yeah.
then use sudo to escalate yourself.
Yeah, and then
Yep.
then from there.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like I did not have time to look at this. I was buying a car.
Wow,
And-
come on.
That only took like
Yeah.
4 hours.
Right, so
But
I can give
hang on a sec.
If you want.
no. So when my teams have been their best, those years, I didn't read the scenario. I
Yeah.
just acted as an advisor to them a lot of the times. I would read the parts they told me, but I was slacking. I would come and they'd talk about it and they'd say, hey, we need to do this. And where they had issues, I would read carefully about that server.
Yeah,
Like there was one of the trickiest ones I remember, and Micah Van Dusen and I worked on this kind of deep, was there was one year we had a video streaming server.
oh boy.
And the requirement included that when somebody requested the server, they had to be authenticated, and we had to send them a URL to the file, and that URL had to be different every time so that somebody else couldn't reuse it. And that stumped us for a little while with the other constraints we had.
They just said it must be different. Like they don't tell you how. Like
Well, it
just
didn't
has to be
matter. It
different.
didn't matter how. We just
Yeah,
if we would have just sent them the path to the URL, we would have
gotcha.
failed the
That
requirement.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, and so we had to come up with a way to munge it in real time,
Yeah,
and
a randomly
it doesn't sound
generated
as hard.
pair.
There must have been something more to it because Mike is a genius,
Yeah.
And so yeah, we worked in that. I learned a lot about that server. So that's kind of how it went. Is that they were good enough. They just spin up the other stuff. They're like, yeah, we got the passwords, we got all this. The app's fine now. And we would go deep. So with this, how many servers do we have? It looks like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I looked at the diagram. It's not awful.
Yeah.
But it's kind of
Application.
it's still
And-
kind of a mess.
And it's best, what we did last year was we worked in pairs to go through the servers. And so if we had pairs, Kaizek, are you going to be able to work on this from wherever you are? Did you say you have a meeting to go to? An archery meeting or some archery lesson?
Not until a little bit.
I'm sorry, could you say that again?
That's not until a little while.
Okay, so could you sit in with somebody while this is going on and help them?
Can you say that again?
Would it be possible for you to pair up with somebody, do you think, or is that going to be hard for you in the car, or you're not, or are you coming here in between? I don't actually know.
No, I have to zoom in.
Well, I'm sorry, we're having a little communication issue. At first, your communication was really good. Let me shut off my camera in case we're having bandwidth deals. Could you say just one more time? Do you want to just watch what somebody else is doing, or do you want to work with them? Uh-oh,
He died.
Rip Kaiser.
He'll be-
Wait,
he's up there, but he's muted.
Kaiser's on mute.
You're
yeah.
muted,
Yeah,
buddy.
Kaiser do be muted.
What is it again?
Well, he sounds better. So we're gonna go through these documents or through these servers and make requirements out of them. Do you want to work? Are you going to be able to work with somebody from the car, do you think?
I can try.
That's good. So I need to make a repo too. Let's not forget that.
Free.
My login from last year's no good.
Well, there you go.
You're gonna have to sign up using a brand new one.
So
Same.
who feels like Henry?
Yes.
You can probably do this. You're a coach. I would do it. I'm a coach. You could do this.
Well,
You can participate.
This is college level, not.
Oh yeah, you can
Yeah.
full on
Yeah,
participate,
exactly.
can't you?
Yeah. In the high school level.
Yeah.
High school, I got a
Coach only.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
even as a coach, I was thinking you could help with the requirements.
Oh yeah, totally.
What do you think
He, I
about
think, can,
working
like,
with
diagnose
Kaizek? Seeing if you can, yeah, that'd be cool.
He wants to sit in with me while we tag team on stuff.
Yeah, okay. And then how should we pair up the other four of you? Somebody's gonna have to go over there because Josh is over there with his dad's laptop,
Yeah.
or he's gonna. I mean, that's where he sits.
I'm largely indifferent. However, I will say this part, because this one does contain what's it called? Active Directory here. It will at some point I would like to give a crash course, or like just describe group policy in Active Directory, as it's complicated, but it's vital to understand in cyber defense.
phone.
I
system?
think
Wait.
I would like Michael
Phone
and
and-
Tristan.
It works.
Yeah,
It
I think
works,
I would like.
it will not.
I think I'd like you two to work together because I think that you'll balance on the, Tristan.
I don't really care.
Let's move on. That kind of thing. I think yeah. So and then Isaac
So,
and Josh.
All right, that
So if
coming to you, Josh.
maybe yeah, are
I'm
you?
en route. I'm moving at the.
Let me
around.
make that repo, and I'll invite everybody to it.
VoIP is like one of the easiest things to get wrong, dude.
oh, and the
Voice
thing
Yes.
over IP is
So-
like the most like leaky
Isaac.
protocol.
Isaac. Thing is,
Michael.
they do get it wrong all the time, and they just end up not using it.
Yes, yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, we are going to be,
It doesn't
yeah, we are going to be
Like,
using the phone,
me.
but it's not on us to actually secure it.
Yeah.
Like
Oh, we're
Green
not,
team-
we're not managing the server.
This is-
It's not
yeah,
going on any of our machines.
yeah, so
Oh.
basically quick crash course.
Hey,
This is going to be,
Henry,
we
do you want
are
me to
IT
mute my
support. Green team calls us.
speaker so you can
We
turn
are
yours on
password
to
is-
hear
Needs to be changed. We are locked
to
out.
hear Kaisik
We
better?
approved that they are green team
I should also
and then
get
change
on
their
the Zoom.
password to something that they know. That only the green team knows. Now, red team
Kaisik,
will also call us and will say, hey.
Henry's
the
got to
blue
get
team
on
needs their
the
password changed for
the,
this administrator
Teams
account.
call.
We forgot it.
So
We have
Okay.
to change that.
he's
and
working
then
on it.
Verify that they are the red
Oh, it's a
team
Teams
and then
call.
not change it. So.
There's a web
I
thing
was
for
just-
Teams.
I was
Well,
freaking out because like if the VoIP server was on any of our hardware,
Yeah.
we were just like,
Yeah,
like,
it's
I
in
give up, I give
Zulu.
up. Yeah, I don't even want to try.
It might be in the
Like, it's not even
resources
worth
channel.
trying.
Yeah,
VoIP
yeah.
is like it's
That's
one of those
why-
crap like it's a good protocol, but it's one of the
There it is.
easiest to be.
You got it? Cool.
Yeah,
It's-
that's the
he
purpose.
is in
That's
there.
why it's not our problem. That's why it's their problem.
It's so
Okay,
easy.
my speakers are muted.
All right.
All right.
And, oh, and I'm gonna
Isaac's old spot.
also mute my mic so that you can turn yours on.
Oh, my back. Oh,
$15 a week. But
15. Yeah, that's not too bad.
on at my other job,
Wait, hold on.
I'm getting like
How is this happening?
Who's on Teams?
I am. It's coming from mine. My mic is muted.
Henry. This is real.
Let's see.
It's because your speaker's turned on.
Your speaker is
And then-
off. Here, I know. I've got a speaker that doesn't work. Hang on.
Test.
Bro.
Try it now. Oh.
Rip.
Echo.
Echo.
Rip Windows.
See, you wouldn't have this problem with
Okay.
Pipewire.
If I drop, will you guys still be there? That's
JK. Now I'm switching to Mac.
Like, part of me died when you
Part
said
of me
that.
died.
Part of me died.
Guys, I'm switching to Mac.
oh, maybe.
Another part of me just died.
Tristan, I did think I could get any more disappointed.
That's good.
Like, not only are you a
Oh,
Java
man.
dev,
Java dev.
you dislike Linux
Hey.
for some inexplicable
The
reason.
volume control is separate for Teams from the rest of my computer.
Really?
Great.
Oh,
Why?
because it's what
Yeah.
Windows.
Windows.
Add that to the list of reasons.
Add
No,
that to
that's
the
a
list.
Teams thing. It allows you to have separate settings for each app.
So we
I
are.
really
To
hate,
be
hate,
fair,
hate
a lot of
Windows
things
settings.
actually let you have different settings.
All right,
for each app.
80 and
All right.
FTP.
We
All right,
have to
so
be fair.
I
so
suppose
next
not.
week. All right, yeah. So Chris, if you are wanting to hold any kind of extended meeting or anything, probably I'd say next Saturday would be the best bet. I would love to have an extended meeting as, yeah. I would love to have like an extended meeting containing like group setting, like working on the servers in one room. But I cannot not do it this week as I work at 1 o'clock.
Okay,
So
so we should
Well,
let's.
imagine.
Let's talk about. You want to talk about an hour at the end?
I was gonna say, let's divvy up the servers between the three groups.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Me and Michael already called dibs on 80 and dub. So
Okay.
Josh,
so
do
I
you want to take?
also, Chris,
I want
I created a
FTP
bash
and
script that can
the
join
slicer.
a box onto Active Directory.
And you guys do
Like
the Windows
correct,
proxy.
works
on the two
100%
Windows
of
machines.
the two
the
Windows
time.
machines.
The
All right.
configuration is going to be
Two Linux
slightly
machines,
different.
you take the two
However,
Windows.
the configuration I can easily
All
like
right.
it's like it's
Alright,
one
let's do
setting.
this,
It's
Josh.
like two settings that.
All right,
that I
Kaisik, I'm
might
gonna share
have
my
to
So,
show. Besides
screen.
that, it's gonna work.
It's Windows.
I'm gonna
Debian,
work with you
hundreds
to the best of my
Well,
ability
like
here.
no, well the only
Find it.
weird thing with the script
Okay,
is I use apt install in there, which does not it's not very secure in there. Well, I changed that. No, I'm
So
not
we
using
probably
apt
Share
want
but
bridge,
that means that
80
sometimes like
connectivity
it just sits there
for
and
user
tries to
and
enter.
it won't let me. Let's see.
So like you like dot slash
we're going
80
it
join
needs to be
Oh.
sh
on port
like
21.
installing. It'll
It
just sit
needs
there
to be able
installing, so you
to
have to like press enter.
receive
But
files
like,
uploaded by
aside from that,
customers.
Hang on,
yeah,
still
you
let me
can
share.
do
Let me see if I can fix it.
From www to FTP. And it
Okay.
needs to be able to push those files to the
80.
slicer,
dub.
Maybe we can
and
fix
then
this.
admins must be able to push and pull files from FTP to the Windows
Okay.
clients,
Okay.
and it must
Repository.
be an administrative capacity.
So-
issue from
FTP
Okay.
80. 80
It's
is
a
going to
functionally
be
a proxy.
LDAP. 80 is going to be an absolute handful to go manage because I know how to manage 880 now in like in security group policy and stuff like that.
In a lot of
But
cases,
I'm
this
not,
kinda just
like
feels
the absolute
like,
best at it. So
just a box that's it's just middleware.
end user into domain
So I'm just going to share the scenario
slice.
on a separate screen. I'll
We
have
a
open,
flag on Etsy and Red has
the
a flag
GitHub,
on Groove.
but you won't be able to see it
Oh,
probably.
by the way, if you guys could also create a issue on your Windows
We'll start
on your
creating
Linux boxes to
What's-
join the
where
Active
is
Directory.
the,
So, yeah, okay. Yeah, so if you guys could
CDC
create an
25,
issue for
is that
joining
what we're
your,
doing?
your Linux boxes to Active Directory, then that'd be great. So I
Yep.
actually bothered to remember.
Okay, so
Wait, was
we're
today supposed to be the super long meeting?
No.
Okay, because I have it on my calendar. Till
Yeah, it
7.
was. I think
7.
Oh, well,
No, till like
your dad
4:30.
said that was the plan to do it as a very long V
a
meeting,
really long
like
time ago.
a
yeah.
couple months ago. That was on
Oh.
Zulit. Yeah.
okay. Everybody should have an invite to the new repo.
Invite, gotcha.
Henry already accepted his, and so did Mike.
I'm working
On top of it.
wait,
Oh yeah, I
that's-
got a new GitHub account because I probably shouldn't use. I probably should
Dang.
use a personal one rather than the
I
one.
sent yours to
post
Professor
myself.
Brainstorm.
1 second.
There we go.
I have a new
All right.
one.
Now, on a
Okay.
slight side note, what are you guys' opinion on Chevy cars?
Terrible.
Terrible.
Chevy-
My dad just got a
Chevys.
Cruise and it's not horrible. He likes
Yeah.
it a lot.
So I don't know because I looked up I'm looking at a 2019 Chevy Cruze and a 2017 Chevy Cruze. And I looked up the 17. It's like everybody says it's great, but then I look up the 19 and everybody's saying that the engine failed 5 minutes into their first drive.
I would- I wouldn't trust
Is it-
Chevy anything.
Is it a valid car? Like it's
valid.
well like it's like I don't want to be driving this thing
Got
for like
an engine.
a month. Then the
I mean,
engine.
if you
fails.
pass it to to Python, it's gonna say, "Yep, that's true."
It's a car.
It's a
car.
non-null object, you know. So.
Failed to
Or
load issue. So I'm getting okay. There we go. Oh, sweet.
Alright.
Yes, definitely change the. default
Kaiser, you can
passwords.
hear me, right?
Yes.
There we go. Okay.
Well,
Yes, I can.
first
All right, sweet.
competition.
Can you
we
see,
lost a bunch of points because we forgot to
um,
change the default password.
the Google
on
Doc I have
the,
open?
The
FTP.
lab.
Well,
server.
oh,
No,
GitLab we did,
no,
but
That's
not.
something else there. No,
This is. I think this is even
These are-
before.
So
like when Ray
we've got 6
and
servers to
Matthew-
kind of make.
oh,
Mm.
before that one.
If you're
Yeah.
following along, we're
Ray
making
and Matthew
GitHub
servers.
issues. Just
we
kind of
forgot
mark
to
down
change it on the
tasks that
database.
need to be completed or need to be verified for server functionality.
Team
Buy
8.
this.
So you and I are in
Wait,
charge
why are you
of
Team 8?
the tasks for the 2
We're-
Windows
we're named
machines
Team
here.
Yeah,
We're named
well,
Team
Okay.
is the-
So we're basically just gonna go through.
Chris, I want
and-
Team 5.
That
Please.
couldn't work
We're
out
basically
great.
just gonna go through the
Wait,
documentation
why
here,
do
the
we have
scenario,
Notepad++ installed?
and
It's quick, it's lean.
Yes.
see if we
except
can't
we
make
don't
some
need it.
issues
Are you
in
on the
regards
server?
to verifying and
Get off the server. Look at the top.
setting up
We're not supposed to be
Why are
on
you
the
on
server.
the server?
Windows
Get off the
machines.
server.
I asked you. I thought, I
No,
asked
we're
you
check-
if we were creating issues off the server or creating issues off
Off
the
the-
documentation. And
So-
For
and
now,
you
it's
said
just
server.
I
documentation.
said documentation.
Oh, okay.
Oh, no,
gotcha.
I said server, but I meant the server documentation.
Oh, you
not
meant
the
the server
scenario.
All right,
Yeah,
so
I
you
mean,
see our
the
first one here is
documentation about the
Windows
server.
client.
Just
So
like we did
it's gonna be
for.
has
the
our domain
beginning
name
where
at
we
the
looked
top.
at
It's
the
gonna be
old
Windows
documentation and looked at
5
server. That's what we're doing.
isucdc.com. It says
That should have clarified.
this is
what
a
we-
Microsoft
Sorry
Windows
about
10
that.
based client for interacting with internal machines, specifically
All right.
www, FTP, SLI, and Active Directory.
Change the password. Should
So-
we? Have you, Michael? Have you already created the tags for the labels for the different?
No.
So based
We
off
can
these
worry about
notes
that
here, what do we
later,
think
see if, like, themes
we
come
should?
out.
What do you think? One of the first
Well,
issues we
well,
should
I
have
mean,
we
like-
could tag like
like
Windows.
the-
like one of the
units,
first
Yeah, yeah.
tasks we should
server
complete.
ones, right?
Yeah. I'm going to create the server name tags though. I'm just going to go server name, not like teammate.iccdc.org.
Thomas, yummy.
Ham is yummy.
Ham is yummy. All right.
I'm going to let's see. I'm going to do servers and then services.
So one thing that kind of sticks
like-
out to me is they
like
have AD
AD
joining
server
instructions,
and then Active Directory.
which kind of speaks to me like they don't have it joined already.
Yeah.
So I think that'll be we'll add that first. So whoops. Let's see if I go back to Windows Client. So you probably can't see me switch. Maybe I can switch over to GitHub here.
I love
So-
the hybrid of Linux boxes and Active Directory. I love managing competition
So,
networks
hey,
where
Josh,
it's
Pretty
more
much,
Linux
just gonna
Sometimes
create a new
they're-
issue. Say
So
Windows
Names,
Client.
They don't pop up for me. No, it's not popping up. You know, the other
Join Active
name, like
Directory.
Professor Brainstorm is also Professor. You know,
Yeah.
And just write a description like make sure Windows Client is connected to Active Directory.
It's just at dash perfect. It's like perfect
And
at
perhaps we'll add
professor
a-
dash brainstorm with no vowels.
Perhaps we'll add a label
There
like
you go.
Windows Client.
Vowels.
Oh,
I actually already added labels for all that stuff.
Okay.
It should be on there.
The label.
WC server, and then also note I specified some of them, so you might see like FTP, but that's the service, not the server.
Okay.
The server is gonna be
Yeah.
FTP server.
So we're gonna add a couple labels here just to make the issues easier to sort through, and we'll
So PRF,
post it.
SS, BRN, STRM.
So Windows Client Joint Active Directory is issue number 4.
Let me just search.
All
All right.
right. If there
So
are,
let's
that
tab
should be all
back
the rules that we need.
to our
There are
document
none,
here.
we easily just get
So we've
clear of
got-
that.
So those are the instructions. That kind of seems to me like we need to connect Active Directory on this box.
Isaac,
Yes.
please
What else do you think? Kind of
label your
jumps
your,
out here.
your
on
issues,
it.
man.
I'm
Please.
working on it.
Come on, man. Get this right.
I'll give you a
have
hint.
one job. One job.
I'll highlight it.
I'm giving you crap, by the way.
I mean, that is like your favorite pastime.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I've
So these
seriously
passwords
had
are
to, like,
given to
start-
us.
start- I've started
Which means-
specifying
On the other
because,
Yeah.
because
Which means they're
Kale,
in
you know,
Cedar, right?
Kale's
Whoever's
Yeah.
the box is
seriously,
trying to get back
and then I
in.
felt that.
They're gonna
Well,
have these passwords. So
That
let's
was
have
a joke.
They
Yeah.
might already have an issue.
Being sarcastic.
I'm gonna make it specific. Change default credentials.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna
Yeah,
switch back
you are the only one that can like actually 100% of the time distinguish
Issues
between
page.
jokes and like when I'm serious. Evie gets it
It
a
looks
little
like they
bit
have
more
one.
often, but still she
Have
she
kind of a
claims that she
checklist
knows,
here.
but she really doesn't. I can tell.
All right, so I already got
I'll-
that one.
I will say something.
But
and-
number
and
one,
she
change
seems
default
she
passwords.
seems offended and she
Like
goes
if you
like
go to
offensive.
the-
I'm like, I was
yeah,
joking.
if you
It's like,
go to
I
the-
know. No,
Go
no.
back.
Like the equivalent of github.com/.
So-
It's kind of
Yeah, I just sent it to you.
What else
so
do you
you
think?
wouldn't do it.
Thank you.
Maybe under required access.
If I can't get it from that.
So I think
Yes, it didn't.
under required access here, we can we could probably break this down
Are
into
you
a
in
couple
yet?
issues.
I think I'm
So
in,
prerequisite
I can't get to that. Is it
to the other
private
two
account?
is RDP
Oh,
must
hey.
be
That doesn't
enabled.
look for-
Chris.
I don't know.
All the users
Right.
and passwords were actually already added, so we don't
So,
have to add.
I will just
like-
pop
like
open another issue here.
administrator, CEO,
Nice.
IT user. They're all already on there. Now that's a
should
bad thing
audit
because
that.
they're all already on there. Yeah, like their
This is just kinda
passwords
how we're
are
gonna
going,
go about
like their passwords are going to be correct.
The
but they're all
checklist of
going to have
tasks for the
unrestricted
competition.
admin rights
So
and their
Yeah, you have
passwords
to
are.
check
Windows
the
client.
permissions.
Yeah,
gonna
so
say-
they're all going to be insecure, but they're all already there. So
ensure
Well, we have to check if
ensure
it's-
RDP
that sounds like a
I mean,
good requirement.
on port.
I mean, well, yeah,
3389.
like my policy for 99% of this
Right.
is planned for the worst, hope for the best.
That can give you some nice Active Directory, nice
So
PowerShell.
That's the prerequisite to the other
I love
Um,
managing AD
steps. Like IT
PowerShell.
admins must have
It's
administrative
so clean.
access.
It's so awesome.
The server has to be running before we can
Although
even manage
maybe
access
that's
to it.
just my object-oriented programming
So
part of me speaking.
say ensure port ensure
It's a shell.
RDP
It's a
on
shell.
port
I mean, it's a
338.
shell.
Die Hard is a Christmas
Except-
movie.
It is a Christmas movie.
It is a
Die Hard is a
Christmas
Christmas
movie.
movie.
And-
Bruce Willis said no, but
Just
what's
add,
he
I don't know what to add for
Bruce
description.
Willis
Just-
said no.
Bruce Willis
What?
is a man of all.
Bruce Willis said that it's not a Christmas movie.
Set up or
What? Why? Bruce Willis is wrong.
validate
Bruce
RDP
Willis-
Is
access.
Bro, what the heck?
All right.
I
man?
don't know.
Post.
I can't get to that profile page.
All right.
All right.
That's-
Isaac,
Basically just making
what's
a
your-
big
what's your
checklist.
format,
That's all we're doing here.
for these issues.
The way that I've been doing it is the abbreviation that they use in the document, capitalized, and then a
All right.
colon, and then a brief description.
All right.
That's kind of what
Gotcha.
I've done.
Server colon.
So-
thing.
Yeah.
Wow.
After the server is up
So
and
server
running, now we
colon.
can get into the meat and potatoes of
It's not obviously it's not the
access
it's not
control
the end of the world
and all that
It's
good
different,
stuff.
But I like
says
seeing
IT admins
that
must have
consistency.
administrative
Makes
access.
me happy.
You're the engineer guy for
That's me.
Didn't know.
The more you know.
The more you know.
So we can just throw another issue up. Let's see.
4 months.
Well, that changed.
Oh, okay.
Issue, we'll say Windows
They have
client.
a link on in the AD server required access section. They have
Admin
a
access
link for
control.
Of course, they're using
administrative
Octoprint
access.
because that just makes sense.
If I
That-
click on it, it brings me to a Google.
There are
doc. I don't
some
have permission.
GitHub front end.
Yeah. Yep.
Gotcha.
Where's the link?
That
to a Google
That's
Doc I
supposed
don't
to
have
be
permission
very-
for.
yeah.
Oh, where the supposed
Are
to be
we
the
allowed
scenario
to do
doc?
whatever?
no,
like,
no.
how
I
we-
remember
So
last
in
year
the
it's
scenario
those.
doc,
So
Oh,
there's a link.
let's just say
Yeah,
Windows Client Access
yeah,
Control. So
yeah.
we'll say
That
what
what
page?
that's supposed to be is
admins
that's supposed
must have.
6.
yeah.
So go back
That's
to the doc.
supposed to be
It says
like your
IT
your
admins
classic,
must
like,
have
this is what we mean by
administrative access.
administrator privileges.
Oh.
It's a document that contains that information, but they screwed up the permissions on the document,
And we'll put in a blurb here
which
about
is not shocking, but it's still annoying.
Put in your
least
email
privilege.
address there in the you need access box.
So users that need to be there can be there. Users
And
that
say
do not
you
need to be
access
there
for interaction
will
with
not.
CDC or
Right?
something like that.
Or let's see,
Actually, I guess it knew my address.
8
That's
least
what put in easier for them.
incorporate least
How do you
privilege
create those
philosophy
sub
or
issues?
standard.
Oh,
How do you want to do it?
task
create sub issues.
And then
What?
It's actually right there. Create sub
add a
issues.
label
Oh.
just so we can
That's
sort
pretty
through it faster.
But then, do I add all this stuff on there?
Then-
Wow.
I just did both of them. I just did
There we go.
everything under RDP.
Done.
Everything under RDP, like
Post.
like just
Yeah.
just copy and paste.
I put it in two
Let's
separate
see.
issues.
We'll go back.
One is who's able to access RDP, and
Oh, make RDP working, and then make
Yeah.
make the people.
So this
label.
must be
Yeah.
accessible
Okay.
from the competition
but
network.
Basically, what
I
I
haven't had it.
is to task.
I think we can
list.
add that
How'd
to
you-
the blurb we have about
No, so in
RDPs running on
the-
3389.
would that
Just
be under?
so let's jump back.
When you are typing in the body.
Well,
of
that's
And-
what you have to use my-
Yeah, I wish I don't know. I might. I'll
I'm
leave
sure
it like that
RDP
and just do the
And we'll just add a comment
thing. I don't know, whatever.
saying like RDP server must be accessible from the competition network.
I should also.
All right.
I don't know.
Josh, so what's your opinion on something?
Okay.
Do we want to run Octoprint behind the proxy? Because it's running Flask under the hood.
Is there anything else you
That's
think
what's the
that kind of
unfortunate-
stands out?
I finished with FTP. FTP is pretty good.
Is that a how question?
No.
Okay.
And so
What was
should
the
we-
question?
Should we run Octoprint behind? Should we consider running Octoprint under a bit of
Flag?
Are you done with the server?
Flags? Yeah, so
Yeah.
one thing that happened to us last year was
I'm
one of the
adding it
flags
into
had a world read.
Because I know
Did you follow the requirements from the document?
So-
I'm doing
That's-
that now.
Wait. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
a
something-
Flag.
I'm wondering
Well,
if that's a
was it a
because
flag?
Octoprint should
Okay,
be
flags
running
actually
as
have to have world.
Oh,
have
is it
to
running?
be world
They
read.
it's
Do they?
requesting
Not world
pseudo
read.
password.
No,
You
six
don't want
six
to do
four
that.
zero. I think
640.
Octoprint
is
doesn't
what it is.
exclusively need it,
So
'cause it can just it,
Yeah.
as long as it has
Readable,
USB access,
Root and
which
these are
you don't
readable,
need.
but
Root
not world.
with
Right, not
Python.
world.
But
It shouldn't be
I
ran
think
as root.
that
So I added that as
was
a
like
requirement. Locking
Etsy
it down by
was
running
like
it as a
world
different
right
because
of
it doesn't say that it needs to
777
be
on,
shared.
on
Yeah,
Etsy,
without-
which is not
without
shocking
mentioning the
because
product
that's what they do.
necessarily.
But
Yeah.
it's still annoying looking at that.
Yeah, so that's
Octoprint.
a good
Yeah.
point.
It's
So
Octoprint
what happened to us last
is
year?
a
We had some
is a Flask
screwy
web
file
server in
permissions and
Python
stuff that
for
was supposed to be
print-
It has
secure.
to be.
Well, that's
Okay.
here.
So
Yeah.
it's not a
Yeah,
bad
let's
idea.
just
We
say
should
that-
so let's put up another issue and
Gotcha.
say
Well, you
like
can use
validate
pseudo,
file
but it doesn't
permissions
have
for
to be
flags. How's that sound?
It's true.
You could put something.
Yeah.
to do
Windows
with-
Out of
client,
the box though,
validate
Octoprint runs as root.
Windows client.
So say, yeah. put in
Flag
something that
security.
says to ensure that applicants not running.
I have it locked down
yeah.
Octoprint. Run it.
And then-
Validate.
So I give it USB
So
access.
actually,
There's
all that
not
is going to be
running.
a whole
Yeah,
lot
just
easier
ensure
once
it's
we
not
join
running.
these boxes on.
Yeah, just say ensure it's
Let me
not
just-
running as root.
Yeah.
Paste this
So
in here.
okay, so
the
actually,
proxy might be overkill. It's
Validate.
running a unicorn.
But actually, they actually have in here that you're supposed to be prompted by sudo. So I
So
don't know if you wanna
validate
take
file.
It's not that you should. You
You
can
will.
be if you run the Octo.
Validate
to start
file
with the
permission
process.
for
That
the
you will
following
then be prompted
flags.
for your sudo password.
Wait,
If you
did
run
you
the
already
Octo-
create-
These kind of
I
look
know
like
how it works
directories.
under the hood,
for
so I
these?
So
can
it might
kind
be a
of
file in
bootstrap
these
it
directories. It
myself.
might be the directories themselves.
so that it can
So we'll
be
just have to
ran
keep
the way
lookout,
that it's
but we should
intended.
just incorporate
'Cause I
least
don't know what the
privilege
script's doing.
for directories and files.
Yeah.
Because if they get
Yeah.
if they
Oh,
get access
The
when they're not
reason I
supposed to,
mentioned using it as an
we lose
engine
points,
is
right?
the flat
So-
Yeah.
that they use on Octoprint.
All right.
To
They say on the
Labels.
website,
So I
don't
think-
use it. for auth, it's
Required
not a good auth.
Okay, yeah,
It's
so
just
you did
password
already
protection.
do LDAP.
I
right,
think
yeah. I was creating.
that's good
duplicates
for
of your
this
So in general,
server.
with these competitions,
The entire
As
time,
far as I
actually.
can tell.
the less
The less intrusive, the better.
That crap.
the,
So we got
the less
default credentials.
jarring changes we make, the better,
No.
because
Not shocked.
like
So we're gonna have a
teams say,
client.
"Oh, when the fire drill happens, when the red team gets to come and look at your workspace because they need to go.
Yeah.
To say, well, let's leave a sheet of passwords out. Maybe the wrong passwords, but the red team doesn't know that, and they'll take points away because they left a sheet of passwords out. They try to do things like that.
All right. So our second one
They
here,
see that there's
Windows
passwords
laptop, another
on
client.
this, they will they realize that you did the autofill thing? Do you
So
want
default
Firefox
credentials we already have an
to
issue with, but
password?
that's
The way Firefox
That's
manages passwords.
an elementary thing.
The way Fire, as long as it's running an up-to-date Firefox, it's.
So it
not
says this is a
awful.
Windows laptop that the company uses to RDP into the Windows
they follow good
clients in order
password
to interact with the rest of the
It's not
internal
like
network.
www
No flags are on
has-
this machine.
Okay, www
But
has
it's for a
three
regular
default
user, it's
credentials.
So-
I thought all the browsers
That is
could just like
You cannot uninstall anything.
Okay,
It's saying you
if
must
it's
keep all the
low-
software on this
You've
machine.
unlocked it.
However, it is
without a master
recommended
Yeah.
that you upgrade the software
If
to
you
a
don't
newer
have a master
version.
password, yeah. Yeah.
So we might have
the reason my
An
browser-
insecure, unpatched version of Windows 10. What do you think we should do to fix that?
I have that.
That's sweet. Thank you.
We'll figure out later.
Okay, yeah, I got that on there.
Figure.
Maybe you can
Yeah, we should
pick
update it,
up.
right?
Oh, you've
Yeah,
got.
update it. Yeah.
Maybe you can pick
Yeah,
it
it
up
should
and
patch
just
it to the latest version.
Yeah,
So
yeah, there we go. Yeah, I've set up on
This
it.
www
It's not
server.
rocket
All right.
science. It's just
Let's-
hit install.
Yeah. So Isaac,
So,
during
we're
the
gonna throw up
competition,
another
we are
issue
going to
here.
be
It's gonna be
This is gonna,
WL instead of
just scrubbing
WC. So
and
Windows
managing
laptop
this www server is going to be a 2, possibly 3-person job.
upgrade.
Scrubbing it?
Also,
Scrubbing it. This
Software update.
www server has a grand total of
Let's say
2, 3, 4, 5
ensure
applications running on
All
it.
software
They're
is
all going to be
running the
configured-
latest
So we're not
securely
allowed to
available
reference the
version.
Docker containers, right?
We are. Well, that's the problem. They already Dockerized one of their things.
All right.
just
But
Docker
it's going-
identities.
We'll just
Yeah,
say
Dockerized.
But the
crypto,
identity
that's
WL
server
server
itself is probably
post.
going to be configured incorrectly.
plain and simple.
So, like,
Well, it's just a Docker file. That's super easy to fix with Compose.
yeah, exactly.
It's super
However,
easy.
like I said, it's one of these servers. Each of these
All right.
services is not difficult to
And
fix,
now the
but
rest
there
of
are
this
5 of them. So they're
kind of
all-
looks
and
similar
they're
to what
all-
we
they're
just
all
had
going
with the
to
other
be
server. Looks like kind of the same
configured a
section.
different way, and they're all
Required
going to
access.
be configured incorrectly.
So I'm
Also,
gonna
they're
see
all
if
using HTTP,
we
not
can kind of-
HTTPS.
Ooh,
So,
we might,
That's
we
going to
might-
be difficult
ooh,
to manage
and
or possibly change.
we might need to do SFTP.
Well, let's just do
I
another
would much
issue.
rather
Why not?
But
Because it's
that depends on
FTP, there's nothing
well,
So
stopping you from
RDP
pumping
access
files
on
in
port
there
Yeah, well,
and
3389.
DOSing the system.
what service are they using?
And IT
for,
admins
for-
must have
for
administrative
FTP?
access.
They're probably just using like a secure shell.
SMB or something?
Secure shell.
What, being the client?
So let's
The
just go
client?
through and do
I
a
don't-
new
I have no
issue.
idea. You can
Well,
use
I didn't look
What
to see where
services
the
is running on
FTP was.
FTP client and
Let's
server?
see.
the
That's
server SSH supports it out of box.
FTP on port 21.
let's kind of just
So
copy
so
this
so it's
blurb.
not SSH FTP.
New
It's not
issue.
SFTP.
No,
Just say
no,
WL.
It's just
Ensure
the
RDP
FTP
on
server
port
takes the
3389.
files due to the nature of the FTP server. You are not required to connect the FTP server to the AD. Well, we are going to be
Yeah,
connecting
we're
the
going
FTP
to.
server.
I'll actually, that's actually a good thing
Well,
to probably add.
oh yeah,
Part-
Isaac,
well,
that's
just mirror.
another thing. I made a script for that. It is currently hosted on the GitHub. The old one, CDC 2025.
Server must be accessible
That
from the
script does
competition
work
network. Those kind of
100%
mirror the issue
of,
we already
of,
did.
of the time. So run that script,
So
provide all the
Got a
necessary stuff,
comment.
and then snapshot it. Take a snapshot of the machine, then install, then run the script just in case. But that should hopefully.
then
You might not
WC
want this
access
in Active
control.
Directory. I mean, because they say must be
Kind of
able
the
to
same
use
thing.
FTP essentially, and then
Yeah.
IT
Go back,
administrators must
create
be
new
able to
issue,
connect
WL access
on
control.
SSH. So you could
The
there
reason-
might be a healthy
Well,
separation.
The nice thing about putting it on AD though is then all the IT administrators, we won't have any account problems.
Well, account problems and also security
And
policies.
add a label.
Because,
I forgot to add
that's
the label
We,
to the other
we
one.
can
Enforce.
control pseudo access via a Active Directory.
Let's see.
Yeah, but if somebody can
Label for
put a
WL.
script up there that can do account
No.
correlation,
Yeah, we
now
don't
it's in
want,
your
so
domain.
it actually makes a lot of sense to not have the FTP server because this is the middleman. The FTP server is effectively a firewall prohibiting
Windows client, I
arbitrary
forgot this
file
one
upload
too.
to our slicer.
Gotcha.
Thus breaking Prusa. If it crashes Prusa, then we've been DOS. So we might not want it to be on AD just to basically air gap it from everything else.
All
Okay.
right.
If we air gap
I'm seeing what-
FTP, then
yeah,
nothing.
okay.
We
All right, so does it
basically
kind of make
shielded
sense what
ourselves
we're doing
from
here? I think
huge
that's the
attacks.
last of
Yeah.
that
You,
That makes
documentation.
yeah, so that would.
So when
What's
Chris
WC?
says
I'm
get to
gonna say
work
that would
on
then-
the
what's
servers,
It's basically
we're all gonna come
RDP
here
proxy.
Yeah.
to this GitHub issues
what's
page.
the
We're just gonna pick
minimum
something.
required access? Just
like
administrative
here,
access
right?
on
Just
a
administrative
system
access
or-
over
or-
All scenario users
just
must be able
IT
to authenticate
administrators
with the
and
Active
printing
Directory
technicians
server
must be able to
through
push and pull
LDAP
files from the
access.
Windows client.
Right,
That's-
so you can
I'm-
validate,
Machine must be able
or-
to see files uploaded by
you can
customers,
validate,
deliver
and if it's
and
working,
push files.
you
So,
close it
I'm
and say,
gonna
hey,
say
I
it's
checked it
gonna
out,
be-
it was working.
It's gonna be all.
If it's not
So what
working,
kind of air gap?
kind
how
of
would,
just attempt
so-
to fix it.
How would Active
Yeah.
Directory possibly
You know,
provide any
Yeah,
type
yeah,
of
makes
so
sense.
just
greater attack surface?
By
and maybe coordinate a little bit so we're not all working on the same issues at the same time.
You can now get
But
Kerberos tickets.
You should be able
Yeah.
to
And then
just
you can load them
filter,
on your
say I
machine,
want to only
roast
work
them.
on the
Yeah.
And
Windows
now
L
I have access to your AD server.
Gotcha.
FTP is
issues.
not the larger surface area.
You click,
It's
you
the
can filter
server
by label and say,
increases the
okay,
attack
here's all the
area.
stuff
Because
Yeah.
because it's
Alright.
the
on this
middleman.
machine that still needs doing. I
Yeah,
can say,
because it's the
okay,
one receiving
software
our
update,
arbitrary
click
data.
on
Well,
this.
then on that case, then wouldn't then like Windows
And if
client,
you
Windows
update the
laptop,
software and
Dev,
everything's
and
good, then you
Slicer
can
all
say,
also increase
come
the
down
attack
here and
surface
say,
of that
I
directory?
Slicer
the
is protected
software.
by FTP and Windows Client.
Well, I could say,
All
like,
of our
I
user shielding should
updated
be done on those because those
Windows
are the ones that everybody's
to
interfacing
the-
with.
Yeah.
And everything
latest
increases the
version.
surface area. The question, and
everything
it's a future
else
question, right?
Mhm.
And maybe the task, maybe the
was up
requirement
to date
decide
upon
whether to put
inspection.
FTP in the domain or not. I think that should be a requirement.
And you'll say
there's
close
pros and cons.
with
Yeah.
comment instead of just
Ooh,
close,
actually,
so that we know
what we might be what
how
the
it was
smartest
fixed,
decision
when
might
when
actually
and
be.
how it was
I just thought
resolved,
about-
and all that stuff.
The,
Oh, okay.
I won't-
kind of a,
I won't do that
slight
now,
thing, but Chris,
'cause it
I'm
hasn't
wondering
been fixed
what you
yet.
guys' thoughts on this. One of the
But
best
we're basically
practices
just kind of
recommended
combing the
by
documentation for
Windows for Active
tasks.
Directory
We're
setup
gonna
is
build up this
duplicate
stockpile of
the default administrator
jobs,
account,
and
change
then-
the name, and then delete the old one.
And
Because
then
all
when
people
Chris says
are
get to
going
work, then
looking
we're
for the
basically just gonna attack
administrator
the
account
stack
when
of
they're
tasks
RDPing,
until
when
we
they're
have
doing
none
any
left.
attack surface. So if we
So-
duplicate it, change the name, specify
Yeah.
that in the green docs, then
That would be the ticket.
that would
Yeah.
that would be one of the biggest ways that we could secure the administrator account from default thing. Now we also can't name it like super admin or like admin down from administrator because it's gonna be super easy.
I just
But,
call
like,
it user.
yeah like
Something
like,
that's so
well,
generic. you
something
wouldn't-
generic
Yeah,
and not
just user.
containing the word administrator.
user.
The, yeah, I would do that. I know
I like that.
our local, not the
Admin
the
as
domain
an AD
admin.
thing.
Yeah.
Lockdown admin.
Yeah.
desktop admin at GoDaddy is called Peyote.
Nice.
Well, they're in Arizona.
That's,
But,
that's cool.
But yeah, you have to figure out if there's a good way to mitigate account escalation on this FTP box, and changing the admin name, account name won't do that.
So changing the administrator account thing only makes the Windows systems more secure. It does not make the Linux clients more secure because they have sudo and root.
Well, it won't-
I'll be right back. I have to go to the
It
bathroom.
won't prevent, it won't
Yeah,
do
no
anything
problem.
to prevent account escalation, because account escalation doesn't
Hmm.
require the name of the admin. account.
Yeah,
It just,
yeah.
It just
On
includes
Linux, yeah.
permissions, even on Windows.
yeah. Well,
But you never
I'm
have to know
thinking
the
of,
name
like-
of the administrator
I'm
account.
thinking RDP, like the easy RDP
Well, yeah,
SSH,
to
that kind of
log
stuff.
in
That's gonna be
interactively, but like
Yeah.
on this FTP, if they
If they
load
can
a script
get in.
that, so
yeah.
account escalation is the accrual of permissions you shouldn't ordinarily have. It
Yeah.
has nothing to do with the account name.
Yeah.
And the SID for the administrator is a well-known SID, so that won't change.
It's
And they'll be
Yeah.
able to look it up in
for
Active
Linux.
Directory.
It's always 0.
Yeah. So
Your SID
Yeah,
and
Linux-
Your Git is always
yeah,
0.
Linux, like we can't
But
really
in Windows,
do
it's
much.
well-known.
Yes,
Yeah.
Linux, we can't really do much about about making it harder for privilege escalation because it's always 0 and it's always root. We can't change that.
But you're
But-
right,
but-
in RDP or something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that,
but
it will
like,
help.
yeah, but
Or
yeah,
share
exactly
file
on that
shares.
thing. So if they signed in as like a student account, for instance, last year they logged in interactively on like a website or something. They logged in as a student account. The website uses LDAP authentication and privilege escalation as well. They would need the account name of an administrator, not the administrator. And if they did log in as a student, their next step would be administrator CDC. But one, CDC is no longer the default password, and two, administrator is no longer the account name. No, it does not fix
That's
everything. Like I said, privilege escalation is still a legitimate possibility,
Yeah.
but it definitely makes it a whole lot easier.
Mhm.
Easier to manage.
No, it would definitely chop, that's a good idea, would take away a well-known target.
And I'm not naive enough to think that this is going to solve all of our problems because because the Active Directory domain group domain admins can't be changed. We should not change that, and it's still there. So we can't change all of the defaults, but if we can basically remove administrator from the I don't know, attack surface, then I'd much rather do that.
I mean, at least with the Linux boxes, you can just take away root access and just have them be able to escalate to a user. That's generally considered best practice. Take away the ability to get any user from being able to escalate to root, but they can escalate to another user that has root-like privileges.
Yeah.
Which will require us to get a little funky with group management.
So that's honestly not all that hard.
Yeah, it's
So
not rocket
that's why
science. It's
that's
not
why
hard.
I'm a diehard Linux Active Directory thing. Active Directory fan, because if the default group on Linux, I think for root for sudo access is the group admins, right?
The reason why, at least for FTP, I don't want AD is the moment you get remote code execution, you can leak the Kerberos tickets, and then you're in.
Yeah.
You have a foothold, and then it's only a matter of time until they break in.
Yeah.
So
yeah, I mean, not joining FTP to AD, there's definitely going to be inconveniences, but like I trust.
It's worth it.
But
if
I trust
anything, throw it into
both of you guys'
a
suggestions.
shell script. Like we can even like set up like a script that takes all of the AD information, so we can still manage it with AD, but we just take the script and we can run it on FTP.
Option allowed
extract
only
the
to be
process
pushed
and
by
then-
the server route gateway.
Huh?
What?
The VPN is not working
Oh,
for me right
I'm
now.
not shocked.
Yeah, put questions into the Discord channel.
Alrighty.
Yeah.
Where was I?
I have no idea.
All right.
I think I was digging
What
through
else was?
FTP.
By the way, this
okay.
is how they would. I don't have a domain here, but this would be a well-known SID for the, and you'd use get
Yeah.
AD user. So you just stuff the well-known SID into get AD user, and you
Yeah.
pop out the
Yeah,
administrator name.
yeah.
But
That's still but
we
but
won't
that
install the
well,
AD
Yeah, just
AD
don't give them
module.
don't give them the tools they need.
And
Yeah.
if we
Disable
install
it.
it and use it, we just uninstall it.
yeah.
That would,
Do we
if we install it, put a requirement into GitHub
Yeah.
that we want to
for
uninstall.
like PowerShell? Do we want to disable the ability to run unsigned scripts and add
Honestly?
our own certificate?
We could
So why don't we just like
Just disable
just
PowerShell
disable
outright.
I'm
so
gonna go grab some
so
water.
if we can disable PowerShell on the Windows laptop and the Windows client.
Yeah.
Because those Windows laptop and Windows client, those two are basically just RDP hops. Windows client, Windows laptop is the only purpose is it's just picture like Lisa in accounting needs to RDP into the Windows client desktop that's sitting in the local environment from her Windows laptop. Her Windows laptop is the only thing that can do that. That's the only reason why the Windows laptop
put in an
exists.
issue to
Yes.
investigate whether you can disable
Yeah.
PowerShell because it
However-
comes bundled
Yeah,
with
but-
version 5.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
that then
It
comes
might be
well.
like trying to delete
Yeah.
Internet Explorer. Why can't I do this?
I think the best way, at
Windows
least in
client.
my mind, the best thing that you can do is disable the ability to run external scripts.
So required access.
Because I know you can do that by setting your execution policy and just
At the
disable
machine
power.
level or something.
We're gonna have to do more. I would love, so we can
You're gonna have to
totally disable
investigate.
PowerShell on, if we can disable PowerShell, we can only do it, we can do it 100% on the Windows laptop. But on Windows client, they need, they need interactive access to www, FTP, Slicer, and AD.
Well, that's why.
I don't know,
That's why I
do
say
they have to use
disable
PowerShell
sign.
for any of those?
You can use command for that.
What I'm saying is set it
Yeah.
to signed. We put our own cert in and we sign our scripts.
But you can override that. I mean, they can just change it.
Then
Unless you said-
you
you
need,
said
you need to be
it would be
administrator.
policy,
You need
but-
to
Your
be
policy,
an
yeah.
administrator in order to change your execution
So
policy.
you,
Yeah, that's why GPO in AD
Yeah.
is super cool.
like, I can
There's-
change my
there's a
GPOs at
GPO.
work and they stay changed until they come back around for the upgrade
Yeah.
for some of them, but you can change that too, but put it in as a requirement.
Yeah.
Today's about requirements.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
WL.
Are you guys
not
done
access
with the
control.
2 servers? Have you done all the way through,
I'm
or-
working on the www
Yeah.
server.
Okay.
What are you looking at, Josh?
Where are you with
Disable
your
power.
AD server?
I
80,
just
80 I think
I just
is already done.
Oh yeah, we got
Yeah.
the 80.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, 80, the thing with 80 is that it's very little requirements. LDAP has to be working, or
I'll
AD has
keep
to be working.
cracking at
Yep.
FTP.
But
Do
the
you want to
auditing
keep crack-
is gonna
start cracking
suck.
at Slicer?
Yeah.
I've
So-
only got
No, you can
There-
pull
there's
the
a
you can
lot.
pull the Windows event
two
viewer.
things on Slicer.
Windows event viewer, yeah.
So you
So
can
you
send
can work
them
on
wherever you want.
Slicer.
Yeah, yeah.
I'll keep cracking it.
Well, like-
So
there's a lot
Are
of
you working
issues
with them on
someone's
the
got
other
to
on the
Uh,
other
lock
server?
on.
That'd be
I'm,
cool.
I'm
AC
creating,
standby.
yeah,
Better
I'm
than-
creating the issue for
The SLI.
possibly disable
SLI,
PowerShell. Well,
yeah.
like disable PowerShell question mark.
But then work with them because
Yeah.
that's why we do it in pairs.
All right.
Having 2 people is like having 5 passes through something or something like that.
Yeah.
I can't remember
Allow
the stats.
RDP access from a WC. Is that the one you're working on?
I am working on FTP. You're working on SLI.
So these two.
Let's see.
Only those two I've done so far. So any others than those two things
We're done.
are
They-
what
They,
you
they,
got
le- they
at.
left us with the easiest 2 boxes. So
Wait, what?
Wait, which two?
the 2 Windows ones.
So I should
Windows
work on
Oh.
those two.
The 2 Windows
No.
Yeah.
clients.
Go on to the
Yeah,
dot.
yeah, Windows
and-
client, Windows laptop.
that you
Yeah,
see.
those are.
So we got
and
ours
I'll hop
typed up
over with you
straight
as soon
away.
as I-
Would you like to peer review our little our trove of issues here?
Well, I still know the least about the scenario that I have not read.
All right.
But did you label them with the server names?
Yeah. So filtered by WC and WL server. Those are the ones we did.
There we go. Issues.
Whoops.
There are a lot of blue flags in www. Very concerning.
There are. That's gonna be fun, huh?
Yeah, there's some slash Etsy slash admin front end slash server flag. Access another green team saved card information. Oh, come on.
With the
Oh,
wouldn't
Of
it be
course this thing
possible
needs
to just
credit
like
cards.
take out the root for them being able to write using just SE Linux or AppArmor?
So, with
Just
the
use
flags,
mandatory. You should use mandatory access control.
well, are you saying like regarding the flags, like reducing permissions to read the flags?
No, reducing permissions to be able to get to the directories and well, not you can't block Etsy unfortunately. Can't block Etsy.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But like with like putting things into
that's-
root, lock it with mandatory access control.
that falls into the same category as jailing SSH sessions. Can we? Yes, but that also goes down to a thing of like, I mean,
making it
we-
fun for the
yeah,
attackers.
yeah, we have to like
Yeah, no, that's fair.
still get
That's
that.
fair.
That's
We-
why
we've jailed
we
SSH
can't Dockerize
before.
things.
But usually there's a set of things they have to be able to do in SSH, and we've made the determination based on that.
It's just too hard to jail.
Well, no, sometimes they have to be able to do things that we wouldn't be able to put in jail, like edit something on the real website. We're not going to put the real website in every jail. We can't do that.
Yeah,
So,
You can with file links.
can you link outside the jail?
Yeah.
Well, like, point is though, like there are, like, can we implement a jail? Yes. Can we implement access control and deny everybody access to that? Yes. Is it best practice? Yeah, totally. But we still have to give the hackers a fighting chance.
I mean,
That's
jails
the
are
same
okay
thing.
though.
Yeah. Like that's the same thing
That
as
won't,
like
that won't keep them from doing
as,
the fighting jails. It's not like.
Group jails aren't like a solve all your problems, especially when one of the flags is defacing the website.
yeah. Well,
So
one of the
jails are
flags
not
is
off limits.
defacing the jailing. That was just an example.
Ooh, okay. So then in that case, then we might want to do jails on FTP then.
An FTP.
Yeah, jail it with FTP.
That depends.
Actually,
Well,
jail the upload site.
maybe,
yeah.
except if
Jail all the
but-
uploads.
well,
and then
if
sterilize
they
them with some
SSH.
Python script.
Well, but if they SSH into the FTP server, they're not like they SSH into there because they need some to go do something.
I'm saying with all the
SSH is
FTP
for
uploads.
administrators.
FTP uploads.
SSH is for administrators. We lock it to just administrators. Do like
Mm.
best practice on
But
SSH.
just have,
It's going to be really
have
hard
the
to get in.
bucket be in the.
But the
upload bucket be
FTP
in
bucket,
jail.
we run the FTP
Gotcha.
server in a root jail,
Or
and
some
all
kind
the
of
uploads
sandbox.
will be sterilized, where it will validate that it is in fact an STL file and strip all execute permissions off that file.
Gotcha.
Are you
Okay.
done with the requirements?
I'm going to add those.
Okay, but from the,
And,
you done with the
yeah.
document?
Okay. Well,
Because in
once-
about,
once again,
in about
that goes.
12 or so minutes, we're gonna wanna, 12, 15 minutes, we're gonna wanna start talking about the schedule. So if you're not done with parsing the document, that's where we wanna go.
Yeah.
I've got the head around
Well, then-
12 o'clock. So
But that
Okay,
that
Okay.
then though
you're
Isaac,
right.
that also comes down to
Yeah.
It's in the drive. You'll
Well,
find it on
before we can make any
Wait,
final
quickly
decisions
official.
about FTP and jailing the FTP service, we still have to figure out what FTP service is running.
Yeah.
Like because I would much rather run like something using SFTP.
BSFTP.
Oh my
Well,
gosh, what's it called? SSH
that's-
FTP.
are you done with
That's
the
just-
parsing the documents for requirements?
Think
I feel like a broken record here. But
I'm working.
Is
on
it the same
Yeah,
document we
please
used
work
yeah,
with
on the
Michael.
last GitHub repo? Like,
Tristan, we need to
Yeah.
get, you got a lot of energy, we need to focus
I
it.
heard you.
Tristan.
Yeah.
Okay.
What?
We're
I heard
trying-
you.
Gotta focus your energy
Yeah,
on the
Yeah.
task at hand.
Okay.
yeah,
to
I
be
completely
fair,
understand.
when we were both trying to work on the AD server,
Mhm.
we continued to make duplicate issues.
Well, one of you can look at this, what we did, what worked for some people, some teams before, one person, both of you look at it, but we
How are
see
you-
one,
how are you
have
doing
one that
Slicer?
people make the issue.
I can't find the docs.
Okay.
Oh, here.
That can work.
Is it in the last GitHub repo? Like,
I'm gonna
compilation 2025?
send a message on where the link is, just to kind of push it.
Crap.
It's hurting my hands.
It's not what the frick.
Unseal it.
I got
It's
it.
in the general.
Can I open for?
Isaac, why did you just
Oh,
post
come
the word
on.
push?
Okay.
Yeah, why did you
You
just?
posted the word push in Zillow?
Yeah, so that he can find it.
Oh.
Sorry, I didn't see all the links.
Yeah.
I needed to click view more. That's fine. Okay.
At first I thought
Well,
you needed
Never mind.
a PR check, and I'm like, well, that was nice.
When was this?
We are all.
We can put source code in that repo too, obviously. If we need to.
We're looking
We
for
need to deal with
members.
VNC too. Goodness gracious, man. That's fun.
So this OpenVPN file hasn't been modified since April 1st of last year.
It might be the same one I've already got.
There's blue. Okay.
Just really try.
So far, I've been unsuccessful in getting the VPN to connect.
We go to OpenVPN and I'm just gonna click the thing that says iStage and see what happens. Oh, this option allowed to only to be pushed by the server route gateway. That's what you got. Unsupported option if you want to system.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be bad. So I'm gonna hit the little pencil. No, I'm gonna go up and
think part of the problem with Windows is that they had trouble stuffing the cert in there.
So I can run OpenVPN from the command line, but it just says, yeah, could not start session, option allowed, only to be pushed by the server, route gateway.
I don't think there's anything else on the www server.
Wait, are you sure?
You can what's the word? Review.
Yeah.
We can't use our accounts from previous years, right? For signing up for Blue Team.
No, you have to.
Come up with a new one.
I mean, wait.
I have all these things with my password.
You have to register for the team again, but I think you can use.
Oh yeah.
The
Oh, it's that.
My old account, my old login didn't work.
Okay.
They scrubbed it.
Yeah, yeah.
So you
So
can
I
And,
signed up
it,
with the
right?
exact same username and password I had. Don't tell me what I can and can't do.
Uh-oh, an error occurred while processing a request.
Yeah, their web server, their web application is kind of buggy.
Lovely.
Yeah, we'll just register again.
Yeah, you'll still get yours.
Should I put in my real name?
That's what I did.
yeah, this www server I just know is going to suck to actually to
Nice.
go get working. There's no way that they got all this stuff running just like successfully.
Not at
There have to be a custom administrator user that can, and only that administrator, and that administrator user has to be the only one that can access the /admin path on the website and the /server flag path on the website. But there's no way that they configured that correctly.
Oh man.
On the notes, there are still a couple other things that I missed. It's gonna be a second there.
Let's ask Chat
In
GPT.
notes, there are things,
You didn't have that.
but
available
they're also
before.
said elsewhere that, or they're just not issues per se.
I gotta double check. I don't remember how many www issues we have already. Try to access FTP cyberprint. What do you mean by cyberprint?
So
Oh, that's what you create. Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
Separate admin user. Stop it. Stop. What are you redirecting me to? I'm not clicking on any links.
Help me diagnose the problem.
Go out there. I'm frustrated. Please fix it.
Remove route gateway from your client configuration.
Their username and
Oh, then my
password should
track was gold.
It should be
Yeah,
the
it's the
one.
same.
I think it's the one you created on the web application. I think. Don't quote me on that. But so I say Vim. I open my Vim here. Say.
Look at this here. I've got Ice Age 2016, 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
This might be the right one. Let's see.
Something else.
ChatGPT's solution is remove all the troublesome. Just remove. There's an option that's causing an error in your configuration. Remove it from the config file. Just remove it. It'll be fine.
Yeah.
That's the most solid IT thing I've ever heard in my
It looks like there is an error on line 4. Remove line 4 and therefore remove the error.
That's so funny.
You are so what the heck?
Guys, troubleshooting.
Troubleshooting 101.
Destroy the entire.
the web server has an issue, delete the web server.
Yeah,
No more
come
issue.
on, guys.
Exactly.
Can't figure out how to put your VM, just delete the VM.
I don't know what you want to say. It's the most solid idea I've ever heard.
Gets rid of the.
Very hard to argue with that.
Is there a nested virtualization here?
We like nested virtualization.
Well, there's an admin server for they keep on referencing this at cyberprint.com domain.
Now I'm
There's
getting,
an admin user for the Keycloak server.
now I'm
But they don't give us
Should
a
I add
Keycloak
a-
server, so it's probably the Docker container that's running on there.
Google's asking me if I should add a home address to my Google account.
We'll take you to a sign page.
I wonder.
I wonder, man. Why do they need that information?
A lot of issues, guys. We have so many problems. So many things are broken.
We cannot. Oh, that's not good. On the authentication server, they specifically say that we are not allowed to make any significant changes to the authentication flow.
Bro.
Well, good.
Which
That
means
might be good. Might mean that they didn't.
That's
I don't trust them.
unreasonable, though.
I don't trust them at all.
But you have to trust them when they say something's not a problem.
I don't trust that.
so now okay, so I fixed that error. Now it
It's from the
says
white team. It's not from the red team.
I mean, I don't trust the white team to correctly configure their stuff, because many times they've installed SSSD and they've installed the service that makes Active Directory work, but they don't and they claim it's working, but then I log in and it's definitely not working, and then I have to spend a lot of time making it work. Oh, that's what you're talking about.
Okay, I'm getting a different error with the OpenVPN. Now it says certificate verification failed.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's what I got when I tried to rebuild it. My profile file has a cert embedded, but
I don't think I have a cert at all. So. But there's in the config file that I have, there's a CA line that's commented up by default. It says CA iceage-ca.crt. But I don't have that file.
So somebody did already add that.
So
maybe I should put this inline certificate into that. I have that same comment, iceage-ca.
oh, there is this. Yeah, there's an inline certificate. What? Why did they give me that?
Wait, so they Dockerized the application?
What the heck?
Just the application.
Well, I thought it was
It's
just
running
the,
on the same.
Function page
Okay.
up, page up.
Yeah. So they Dockerized the Keycloak server, which is their authentication server. It's running on the same application. Not application. It's running on the same physical server and the same address, but they just Dockerized the app itself.
But
That feels weird. How do you Dockerize just the application? I know it's possible, obviously, but I'm not quite sure how you keep the same address, but just Dockerize the application.
well, you can pass through any address and port you want to the Docker container.
True. Yeah. I forgot about that. SSH. Oh boy,
Come on,
this
Ice.
is gonna be really rough.
Your account doesn't exist, even though you just created it.
That's correct.
it'll send you a verification
Yeah,
email. You have to
that's not
activate
JS.
your account.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's probably.
Yeah.
All right.
It'll
So,
send you an activation link.
Will they?
how long are we planning on staying here?
Not too long. In
I mean,
a
I'm
few
fine-
minutes, I want to talk about
Head.
schedule.
If at all possible, I'm planning on staying here until like 12:40. whether or not I'm just sitting here doing nothing or working on the competition thing is
I told my dad to be
different.
here at 12:45. So
Yeah. I'm gonna be staying here until 12:40. I work at 1, and it's a 13-minute drive there, so I still have to change. But aside from
yeah, I
that,
need to check my email.
it should be fine. But I know that I've said it multiple times, but I'm still greatly concerned about this web server. There are 6 services running on this one web server.
We're gonna need to. We're
The
gonna need
white
to jail them.
Well, like we can
There
jail them.
needs to, we need to
So-
there needs to be isolation. If they can just
Uh-oh.
touch each other, then that's going to be an issue.
Well, they do have to actually though, like they have to come into great amounts of contact. The web server is running Nginx, and that connects and contacts
There
a Ruby on Rails front end server,
that's a web server. That's
Yeah, web
handled by
server.
network, not
and
file
then
system.
also connects to and contacts
Are we Team
JS
5?
front end and
We are
back
Team
end.
5.
And
We're
but then the
called
back
Team
end
5, but
also
our team
connects to a
numbers are-
MySQL database.
yeah,
Winner
But then
is
also
Team 8.
connects to a
Team
PHP
5.
ID provider
Let's go.
Team 5.
that's
Team
running on
8.
Docker.
Team 8. Team 5.
yeah, you can lock
I've
that.
joined
You can
Team
lock that
5
down pretty
and
good
Team
though,
8 at the
because
same
all of
time.
that's network.
Wow.
So you can lock
Okay.
that down via system D.
That does also remind me. I would this is going to be the first thing that I do.
Well, the phone, I can
But
change our team.
Isaac and everybody else. One of the first things that I do is I create a firewall rule that allows any port only from the local subnet. There are 5 different services running. Each of those 5 different services all have to be accessed within the local subnet, but only 2 of those services have to be accessed from outside the local subnet. So what I'm planning on doing is making a firewall rule on UFW in Windows Firewall that allows any port and from any connection, as long as it's from the local subnet, then specifying ports that can be accessed from outside the subnet.
Lock down ports that only to what needs to be contacted from the
Yeah,
inside, because
exactly.
we can't
Yeah.
trust what's going on
Yeah,
on the
so
inside.
ideally what I would do is lock down literally everything, including the website. Well, maybe not the website, but lock down literally. Well, ideally you would host the website on AWS, but lock down everything to the local subnet. Then use a management box that's public facing to then RDP hub inside the network. But I
with
can't.
with the web server, it should only be able to the things that contact it, lock it to only the ports that those machines need.
Yeah,
Principle of least privilege. If a box doesn't need to talk to it,
yeah,
it ain't talking to it. kind of
yeah,
thing.
exactly.
So did you put that in as
Put
a
that in,
requirement
to
to set up
the
to set up the
firewall
firewall or the
firewall.
isolation?
I mean, no, I've not yet.
Yeah, let's do that.
Yeah.
And
Aside from-
let's tidy up what we're working on so we can talk about the schedule.
It's still.
Okay, I'm in.
Yeah,
You're in the
I'm in.
this proofread.
Oh, okay.
I'll create.
I thought you said you were on the VPN. What? Wait a minute. Yeah,
Did
okay,
Axel say he had gotten his account set up? I think he might have.
I know I did, but my password's at home on a different vault. I haven't set up network
Oops.
sharing yet.
Mhm.
Isaac, did you mentioned that you created the issue for joining the Box's Active Directory or or the slicer in web? Are you
Where?
needing me to create that issue, or did you already do it?
Which one?
The
Oh, FTP is not going to be part of AD. I have Slicer. I wanted to see about adding Slicer to AD. I think I created that already. But also adding, I don't actually think I've created that one. I added the Octoprint authentication using LDAP and AD.
Octoprint uses LDAP.
It can.
It can.
You can set it up using
we're gonna
LDAP.
want it to use LDAP.
Which I'm looking at one of the flags is taking out our factory. We want LDAP.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe. I don't know if LDAP is encrypted by default.
LDAP is better than what Octoprint is running under the hood, so it's
Well,
an improvement.
But there's
regardless.
also LDAP-S, which runs on port 636.
the way I'm
LDAP-S
looking,
is
the way I'm
encrypted
looking at
via
it, as
SSL,
long as the
TLS.
password is able to be saved to Firefox, it doesn't really matter.
LDAP-S.
Yeah.
Well,
So we can use LDAP secure. we can use LDAP
Yeah.
secure. There's nothing in the documentation prohibits it as long as the password that you put in can be saved to Firefox.
Gotcha. Okay. So,
Which
Okay, I gotta go now.
which isn't that hard to
All right,
set
no
up.
problem, Kaiser. We'll see you
See you.
later. Thank you for your help.
But we want LDAP.
I gotta go.
subnet.
That is a good question.
Love to know this.
It's it'll be on iScore,
Really?
but
Actually, is I score up? That's a good question.
according to our monitors, it is.
Oh, org. Yes, actually, it is. Sweet.
Oh, yeah.
We are team 5.
Number 8, team 5.
Wait, team 8, team 5.
It still
Yeah.
says team 8, team 8.
Yeah. Yeah, our says team 8, team 8.
Mine
Did
says-
they rename us?
Mine says teammates.
Oh, hey, the service scanner is actually already up and running.
Nice.
Yeah, here it does, but on iScore it says teammate, teammate.
All right, so
Oh, you know what? We used to call ourselves Team 5. On here, it would say Team 5 CDC Team 5. So I think it sees Team X and thinks, oh, they didn't rename their team.
Hmm.
So we're going to have to fix this.
I love
Aren't we?
watching. All right, so according to our current service status,
Yes.
our Active Directory, both LDAP and RDP are both up and running, and website HTTP and keycloak are both already up and running. Once again, they're up and running. They're not configured correctly, but they're up and running.
See, over here it says CDC Team 8.
Okay.
So we need to change it. Let's try this again. Well, team number 8.
The CDC team 5.
Because I saw team 5, that's the one I did.
Yeah, that's the one that I joined as well.
Okay.
So are we team 5?
Okay. Me and Tristan could do we could do it.
Like, did we join the wrong team?
I
Wait, hold
think
on.
so.
Signed IP range. Gosh darn it.
We have the wrong. Well,
Oh, wait.
See, it doesn't take it if I put it in there. That's great.
There's a 5
It shows here.
Go
Yeah.
back to it now. It may just have updated.
We'll refresh it over here.
104, 190, 101. That's so hard to
you
remember.
can like copy paste the 5 symbol that looks like a 5, but
weird.
technically it's not addressed.
Here, well,
Some people have.
I've not even come close to giving up
Yeah.
on this.
I mean,
Can we make
that's
sure?
very
Can we change the logo?
Because in 1 week, you got all of their services.
Can we
up and-
change the logo to make sure it's actual?
Let's see if it takes lead, if
But then
it
again,
strips leading
this
spaces off.
is
We gotta have like
competition
a
here.
new
This
one.
thing- This is college
Nothing
level
used
stuff.
like that.
So-
we could go into like crayon.
There we go.
Ask Dolly to do magic.
Leading space.
It's
I was like Dolly.
Should we upload the
but it's so
amazing logo we use?
Yes. Yes.
Wonder if I've got that, where I have it.
Wait, which logo?
Dolly was
The one that says
Then
T5.
confusion came out of the blue.
Yeah.
Dolly by
Where's our,
Wait, why was I
I
looking
was gonna
at
say
that?
because I've used
Oh, right,
crayon,
yes.
crayon,
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 Crayon.
it's
crayon.
mad. It was amazing. But I saw you use that for the Optic Spy logo.
area 51 monitoring? A lot more things with the 5 in it than I
The
expected.
fact that it actually decided to give viewers.
Team 5 JPEG.
No, I'm not gonna let you make
What's
a
this one?
URL. Not gonna.
For iScore?
I scored.
There we go.
ISH.org.
Gotcha.
Login.
See.
All right. If that won't confuse them, nothing will.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Team 5, we're coming after you.
Yeah, they're like, The winners, Team 5.
Team 8,
And then- yeah, wait.
Team 5.
Team both of you. Wait. Got a logo and everything.
You and I second.
Okay,
Panthers.
back to,
Why are we in
Wait, that's who.
Were we gonna?
because
talk
we're
about
Team
the
8.
scheduling?
I suspect it's the
You would think it would have put us up to 5th place when I did this, but no.
fisherman.
WC. All right, that's.
All right. Looking at the calendar here,
There we go.
we are not going to go late today, but the competition's in 3 weeks, 22nd,
Wait a second. You're
3 weeks. So,
That's the longest amount of time that we've literally ever had.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah,
3
like,
weeks.
3 weeks. That's literally like. I thought.
So next week and on the 15th, I can go, I can probably be available here all day and I'll just do other stuff if you're not here for part of that time, but I can come here at 10 or 9 and
That's
just
the 15th.
hang out. The 8th and the 15th, I can just hang out all day.
My employer decided to shoot me in the foot and
Alright.
listen to my availability of only 5 hours a week.
Wait, your availability is listed as 5 hours a week.
And they decided to
Wait,
schedule
why?
my team. Cause I'm doing other crap. I have another job that is a lot more fun because I
Oh,
prefer-
yeah.
What's the other job?
I would rather I hack banks for BankStack.
Oh yeah, you told me about that.
Oh, yeah, nice. So I'd say, well,
I remember.
so here's what I want to know, like for the next 2 weeks, people that can show up. Do you want to show up at 10 or do you want to show up at 9 or
10 is
6 a.m.
10?
Yeah, we could
Six.
do 6 a.m.
You can
No, I'm
you
kidding.
can stand at the door as long as you'd
Yeah,
like.
I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. That's a hard no. My mom is trying to convince me that I can go to the gym before dropping my sister off. I'm like, that needs me to wake up at 5 a.m. I like working out. I don't like working out that much. That's a no. I'm not waking up at 5 a.m. to go.
It's just
Okay.
no.
I'm not offering 6 a.m. as an option. But does anybody want to start a little earlier than this, or do you just want to start at 10
I
like
don't
we have?
mind if anyone else starts before me. Saturday's the earliest I can make.
Okay,
Yeah. So
10 is
10
good.
works the best for me.
Okay.
My D group pod we need 4 here.
oh yeah, that's right.
So-
You didn't go to that.
So,
Make it work.
I was wondering.
yeah.
You make it work.
So I'll start at 10, but I'll stretch the appointment out. I'll try to make sure the room's available.
Yeah.
Who wants to work? Who wants to meet during the week?
I'd be willing to, but that's gonna be
That's true.
a difficult.
Yeah,
I'm gonna have to figure out what day.
My
that
schedule's
would work.
pretty fluid.
yeah. Meaning it's hard to pick a
No, that means that
Oh,
you give me
pretty
enough
open.
notice, it
Yeah.
will work.
Yeah.
It's more
Well,
of a question of how much notice. In this case, it's my.
Your work. So who has time? Let's just do show of hands. Who has time Monday evenings? This week, let's say.
This
Huh?
week I do.
This Monday.
Yeah,
Monday,
no, I
Let's make sure
I
I
do
do
that Monday.
before I say.
Most likely, yes.
Okay. How about Tuesday?
No.
Not evenings.
Not
Yeah.
mock trial.
Not even, oh,
That's mock trial for the 3 of us.
Wednesdays.
Wednesday,
No.
yes.
No.
Yes, no, church
Depending on
night,
the
I know.
time, I don't know.
I mean, if we want to do it like really late,
That's
want to pull like an
January.
all nighter.
No. I'm on call this week, so no. Next
Okay,
week.
so Monday evening, what time?
I'll probably just be able to show up after work. We could pick a start time. But it could be, yeah, I'll finish my work. I'll try to finish my work day here. So that whenever our start time is, I could just,
Do we want to
Come
bring
over
like
here.
frozen pizzas? Something like that?
we could do that. You could eat
That's
before you
what we
come
did.
here.
On Tuesday evenings or Wednesday.
Monday, whenever.
You know,
If we didn't
Monday?
get to Thursday, who's got open time on Thursday?
I
evening.
have open time on Thursday, but.
I know that Michael, Isaac, and me don't have time on Thursdays and Tuesdays.
Okay, that's mock trial.
Yeah. That's
Okay.
mock trial.
And then Friday's Friday. We're not meeting on Friday.
Friday.
It's probably when we have time, I suppose.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Friday
that's
is when I have
Friday.
most time.
Yeah.
That's like the day.
That's like
I have time, but it would be later in the evening because we have mock trial extra practices
Yeah.
in
Well,
the afternoon.
look at you.
No,
Go.
I-
well, yeah.
My
I'm
Fridays
just
are
leaving-
like.
Well, how
the
I
meeting
can get out.
too,
But I also drive myself.
Around
just
6,
teleport wherever I need
It's
to
probably
go.
when we would be done.
So is Friday like the obvious better choice?
I think so. I consistently work on Fridays.
Friday, Saturday. Yeah.
Consistently work on Friday?
Friday.
Yeah, I work Friday evening. Well, I mean, I can make it work, but I also have to allocate school and college work as well. So
That's so.
I'll try my hardest, but
Sorry.
school is a very, very not
School is a painful little bugger.
Well,
I'm so excited.
work
to
is a
almost be.
painful little thing. It's super annoying.
Well, at least you get paid for it.
Well, sure,
With
but
school,
like,
you just get an arbitrary number that says you might have done good. You don't actually
well,
know.
the thing is that
Opinions are
I
subjective.
worry
Yes.
that
You're not wrong though.
Well, I don't know, but now I worry that I might
With work,
be
it's like,
working
you did well enough to get
34
paid.
hours a week,
Exactly.
which I don't
But
want.
you get money, meaning that you
Sorry.
have the quantifiable value
I
to
mean,
your,
sure,
to your
I
effort.
get money,
right?
but like I might be working too much now. Which is I don't know.
That would-
I don't know, man.
That-
I've
that's
seen
what I'm
like I know where you live. You live very far out from a lot of things.
live.
I know where you live.
Where
You live pretty far
He
out
does.
from
He
places.
helped me
Really?
I helped him move, yeah.
Yeah,
But like no, like you
Ugh.
you drive a lot and you live far away. I
well,
understand the need
I
of
love-
funds.
well, like, but like 32 hours a week is too much at this point. Like, I need 25 hours a week, not 32.
Okay.
So,
So
well,
I did it.
I'm not sure.
The numbers left me. So Michael,
That's so real.
which evenings work with you?
So Wednesdays and Fridays work best for me.
Uh-huh.
I can do Mondays, but
So that's one half. Okay.
yeah.
So, okay. Tristan.
I can do Tuesday evenings, Thursday evenings, but those are variable numbers.
Mhm.
I can do Friday afternoon, I guess.
Maybe put like the Tuesday and the Thursday in like a quantum superposition of 1 or 0.
Yeah, maybe. Like, because like I said, I'm gonna be getting a whole lot more hours at work, but I don't
Just gonna
know
tear
how
that
many
next
more
year.
hours. So I don't know how many
Okay.
hours I'm gonna be working.
But
The
Monday,
complete
Wednesday are out.
rough. Yeah. Monday, Wednesday, like I said, afternoon, Monday, Wednesday, I can make it work. But evenings are very difficult.
All right. Yeah. We don't all have to be together to do this.
Yes.
If people specialize on servers, maybe that's what we're gonna have to do. Henry.
Typically Tuesday, Wednesday is the best day.
Gosh.
I can do Mondays and Fridays. I can't do Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Oh my! Oh.
It's
That
Josh.
was a bad idea.
Same as Josh.
Yeah. Monday's kind of an all day thing. Anytime works there.
Okay.
Oh, Fridays. I should. Oh,
Friday
yeah,
they got
Fridays,
classes. That's
What's
not
that?
Friday
Oh,
evenings.
I thought that I didn't put anything on Fridays. I can.
But afternoon.
Yeah, I can do afternoon.
Okay, so maybe we pair up by who can work at the same time. I mean, Josh and
Henry with
Isaac.
Tristan.
We don't know.
Josh.
Any chance we know Axel's schedule?
His is going. If I'm not mistaken, his is just kind of all over the place
Yeah.
because he has like 3 college classes and
I thought so,
like-
like,
He probably
whether or not he can make it or not is going to be in question.
yeah, okay.
Oh yeah. I know.
So we don't know.
There's no way to really guess
He goes to youth
Three.
group, right?
if when he's available.
So we don't know. Okay, so we'll
I was just
work
thinking
on that later.
that's the only day.
Obviously, Josh and Isaac's are perfectly in sync.
Yep.
Let's see. And we don't know Isaac's either, right? Henry and Tristan have a day in common.
Excuse me.
Michael's,
Wait, me and Henry have a day. Oh yeah, we do. Okay.
maybe there's an afternoon in common.
I mean, I would prefer
Actually-
Mondays and Wednesdays. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Wednesdays. If you guys shoot me a time, I can probably make it work.
Well, what we could do, we could put Tristan and Henry together, and Michael, me, and Josh
Yeah.
can go. So we can just divide into two, and then Chris, whenever you can make it, you make it, kind of thing.
I'll be there Saturdays, right? So
Yeah.
it was,
Yeah.
say that again.
So it's Tristan and Henry. They pair up,
1, 2. All right. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
and then everybody. So Michael, me, and Josh.
And you guys figured it out on your own?
Yep.
Yeah.
We'll work it out on our own. We can figure out
Yeah.
a time or place. If libraries are always a great place because you can feel super gangster. And free Wi-Fi.
That works.
Yeah.
So, you
Free
interested,
Wi-Fi within
some
their TOS.
time to work during the week, if you can. Everybody
Yeah.
else is going to abandon you and find their own times.
Okay.
Or
Clear that up.
Or
you're taking away, you're abandoning the other three and having a real session.
So we're finding a time to meet.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
just-
hopefully.
On your own. And if you let me know when they are, I'll make sure I'm available or whatever.
we can always just slide you messages via Zoom.
Go to the Cedar app.
Teams actually works pretty well.
well.
And then Saturdays we'll show up at 10 and I'll have extended availability.
All right, rock on.
And you guys are gonna fix everything when anyway. So
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hopefully.
this part's supposed to be vacation. Actually, that's not true. This part is usually fun.
Yeah.
I'll zoom with you about next week.
Okay. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, sweet. That works.
Thanks for figuring that out, guys.
Yeah.
All you needed was a picture on the
Yeah,
wall.
I did also accidentally lock myself out of my online work schedule, so I'm gonna have to figure it out.
Workday just stopped working for me.
Workday, well,
Hmm.
Workday, the Chronos thing, they say it's
Hmm.
super great. I don't trust them. So,
The Hy-Vee uses some of the most
janky,
garbage.
Software.
Exactly.
Double G, the goofy
they're
garbage.
paying for like 5 services, all of which Workday provides. Workday literally provides all 5 of those services in one, yet they're paying for like 6 more. Well, they also literally take like 60 donuts and throw them in the garbage. Literally.
Yeah, no, I've seen them do it a couple times.
They,
Yeah.
they literally take like 5 dozen donuts that they made in the morning and throw them in the garbage and then make the same amount and do the same thing again over and over and over again.
So you're saying the dumpster is the best place to get free donuts?
Well, no,
I mean,
actually, you're better off just talking to me. I have connections with pretty much all the managers. I can
Well-
use them. I can expend some of my social credit.
Some of the managers do care, some of the managers don't care. Like what's her face? Patrick and Colin.
Patrick Collins just is like, as long as you don't get me in trouble, we're okay. Kind of.
Yeah, Colin doesn't care.
Wait, Tristan, do you
Kyla?
work at Hy-Vee?
Yeah.
Kyla,
Oh, yeah. Kyla cares depending on how big of a deal it is.
Kyle's in the same boat as Colin. Like, as long as you
Yeah.
don't get me in trouble, like I don't,
Zach-
I'm not paid enough to deal with it.
What's Colin's last?
Zach does not.
Cedar.
Yeah. Zach
No way.
cares greatly about the rules. Like
Zach, yeah.
Let's
Alright,
just,
gentlemen, I gotta run.
Okay.
Till next week.
See ya.
Next week. Next week.
let's just
Yeah.
go for the,
Tristan, I'll zoom with you about, we'll set up a time to
yeah,
do some wrenching.
works for me.
All right, see you later.
see ya.
Slack
See you later.
called Slack.
Oh,
That's
man.
me. Like, they're like a productivity messaging software for like the biggest businesses in the world.
It worked.
And they
Let's
named
go.
it Slack.
We're in.
We'll go for the 14-hour appointment and just see if anybody else has an.
So I
Only this, let's see what happens.
Second off.
Not.
Oh man, seriously, I gotta figure
All right.
heck my schedule is.
14-hour appointment
Very nice.
success.
I am taking a leave. I'm not taking any leave. I am taking unpaid time off. Get wrecked.
Man, Isaac, the way that Heidi does
Isaac's on
things
leave 'cause
literally
he's pregnant.
infuriates me.
You are preaching to the choir.
It just makes me mad.
You are
It's
again
so
preaching to the
annoying.
choir.
Or like the amount of schools that pay a premium for both like Dropbox and Google Drive. It's like
I know.
Why?
They are literally redundant services.
Hold on.
I'm gonna
Don't be
be
both.
I'm gonna be completely
Wow.
real with you, dude. Like I've always been an advocate for just rolling it yourself. But if you're not gonna roll it yourself, just use Google. Like, dude, Google has everything. What does Google not have?
Nothing in
Social networking that people like.
Yeah.
Okay, that's I'm okay. Okay.
They've
that's-
tried 3 times.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's an
That is-
engineer's company. They shouldn't try to
That
do
is
this.
actually an incredibly fair and accurate statement. I'm not gonna argue with you on that one.
What do you mean
Yeah.
by social networking? Like social media?
Social
Yeah.
media, any platform where two people
YouTube
can
isn't
message each
bad.
other.
Facebook.
YouTube,
You guys,
barely
it's
is.
called social media now? Like
I have no
Facebook?
idea.
Yeah.
Facebook is.
The movie's
I
called
think-
the social
A
network.
social network, yeah.
We used to call it social. Okay. Man, that's it. That's the last term I knew.
MySpace, guys. You want to see my profile on MySpace?
Yes. Sure.
It's still a thing. MySpace is still.
Oh,
a
it
thing.
is. Bands use it. Indie
Yeah.
bands use it all the time. That's their place.
Really?
They've
MySpace?
taken it over. Yeah.
It's a whole thing, yeah.
Well, so is Tumblr. That surprised me.
Yeah.
Tumblr kind of was, and then all of a sudden it's like
Something.
boink. All of a sudden my
started
sons are
posting
like,
on
oh
it,
yeah,
like-
Tumblr's great.
Nobody really cared, and I would like try to interact, but there was like no post that made any sense to me. So I was just like, it's mainly like movie fandom stuff. So it's kind of like I don't.
Okay, I gotta remember.
I don't know, man. I just try to stay off of social platforms. They haven't. They take too much.
They're called social media. Duh.
I mean, I don't really care.
Did I do it right?
The only reason
Okay,
that I
buddy.
stay off
Okay,
of social
buddy.
platforms is
Yeah.
because the people on there are literal idiots. Not, I mean, like sure,
Okay, buddy.
sure, the stealing and selling of illegally of my personal information is definitely annoying, and I'm not a big fan of that. But everybody that uses social media, I don't like. So as such, I'm largely I keep myself off there because I would either become what I have sworn to destroy or just
Become what I've sought to destroy.
Yeah.
I would either become what I sought to destroy, and that's not happening, or I would just be mad 24/7.
I love like looking at like unhinged YouTube comments. Like I saw this one comment. It was a MKBHD video. He reviews phones, and there's this one comment. It was like, "Why do all of the tech reviewers talk about the darn chip in the phone? Nobody cares about the chip in the phone." They were like typing all of this, and it got so many likes, and everybody was like, "What? What are you talking about?" It's like,
What
who
chip?
cares? Like the
Processor.
Processor.
Yeah.
I mean,
like this.
I give a crap, but I'm a nerd. So
yeah. I mean,
I do
like,
not. I do
he
not
actually
speak for
does
population.
Oh, my wife will
have-
say, which one's better?
To be fair,
Honestly,
well,
though.
although Isaac, to be fair, the reason most people market their stuff like that is because 99% of consumers don't care. Like,
Well,
they
I'm
will
the
brag
1%.
about Apple M4, like Apple will brag about their M4 chips online all the time, but only 1% of the American population literally cares.
There was an Apple graph. I have a screenshot of it somewhere on my laptop of like M3 versus M2. And it was like
Yeah,
2000%. It was like, no, not 2000. It was like 200% better than our last version. And it showed like a graph.
I was like,
heavily
so you're
mis-
bragging that your
200%.
last one was terrible?
Better than our last version.
well,
Where does that metric come from?
Yeah.
Where does that come from?
I'm
That's
not-
The
not-
same place as the current ad that shows somebody starting Safari and all of the little camera bats falling to the ground because they're dead now. It's like, yeah, that's right. By starting Safari, I changed every website in the world to be secure.
right?
well, like that's all. Like,
So you
that's
hacked
the
banks for somebody?
Same thing
Yeah,
as,
I worked
as
for
the,
banks
the
back
media,
then.
like
I was
doing it.
taken
Like,
on as
is
a
it
junior
true?
associate
Maybe,
cybersecurity.
but they were probably,
pretty
but
sweet.
like they probably
Yeah,
like
okay.
designed code that
So you get-
to
that's a
run
paid
very
job, right?
inefficiently.
It's
on the
more of
M3,
a
very
more akin to
efficiently
like
on the
a paid
M4,
internship.
and then
but
made
that's
misleading
very-
graph to
I
overly
talked to
exaggerate.
my uncle.
Yes,
He's one of
but
the
at the same time,
higher
my
ranking
point was
officers. He
better
does
is not a
compliance
metric.
there.
It's not like they're saying it has
Yeah.
this many
Offer me this
or like
job, but he
anything.
wants me to.
They just
offer,
think it's
like,
better.
We'll take you on full
Yeah,
time.
but how do you- How do you calculate that
Nice.
percentage?
So that'll be
Yeah,
That's
how do you
that's
It
very-
doesn't. That
Nice.
doesn't make
as long as I
any
don't
sense.
screw anything up. I at least as far as I'm concerned, a full-time job locked in out of high school.
Nice.
So
Sweet.
That's
Wait, at a high school?
Noise.
Oh, IT
Out of
administrator there?
Out of.
cybersecurity consultant.
He's
Oh,
got
yeah.
a full.
Well, for Marion High School, because they offered you the job.
No, BankSec.
BankSec?
Yeah.
Will they let you
Cybersecurity
like take
consultant there?
training from offensive security or somebody like that
To
get
they'll pay
some
for
training?
certifications.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, they'll pay for my certification.
Micah said there was somebody better than
Dude,
offensive security, I think,
dude,
but I would take theirs. What?
OffSec's,
You know them? Offensive
OffSec.
security, yeah.
Microsoft.
yeah,
has the logo.
OffSec does
They just
OSDP.
I'd like
add
to,
360
I'd like to
box.
take theirs because they just look so good.
What out of here?
Yeah, well, they're the ones who
Microsoft
build
Office
Calculus.
changed their logo. You know how it's like
Are they?
weird
OffSec's the Calculus.
pilot thing?
When you say offset, you
Why?
mean the same thing.
I think
Now it has like a little
I can look it up here.
and it says M365.
Huh.
Because people needed to know what it was or something. So that's now
This year?
that exists on Microsoft. I don't understand how people like Microsoft people.
Yeah, we're looking
Can
at the
make
same
amazing-
thing.
This, I've never heard them
YouTube,
call
you
themselves
know.
that before.
And then they'll make some like
It was like
absolutely horrible
$10,000 and I
product.
just
Guy-
didn't feel like that.
You made
Well, yeah,
Microsoft.
we're talking about the same
Are we-
You
thing.
made Microsoft teams. Like, we're like,
Well, yeah, I got it, but I didn't find,
GroupMe. Have you tried using GroupMe? Microsoft also owns Teams, which is like Slack's biggest competitor.
took me right there.
It's pretty darn
Yeah.
good. Why don't they just
Yeah, so they built.
take a
they
bit of
built
their
Kali
teams
Linux.
and shove them over
They
the
built
group?
Kali Linux and Kali Purple.
That's great.
I don't know.
So, I mean,
That's
I don't
my
know who's telling you that who's better, but I mean, I would.
Okay, also known as offset. Yeah, sorry.
Yes.
Had to be sure. Yeah.
Yeah, all gone. And then we
Yeah,
talked about something.
So, yeah, they
missed
had,
It just
their
won't stop.
training is, I wish I could take it.
What training do they got?
What, well, I mean, I get notifications, but
What am I
like,
looking for?
Um,
Resources.
it's this thing.
Oh,
where you
learn,
can
it's
add
diversity.
channels.
Yeah, they had like they have a couple, they did different tracks, like
It's
It
not.
does.
specializations later, like one for
Discord.
Wi-Fi,
They only have, like,
wireless,
one
one for
Security.
They're trying to do a Discord,
But
but,
it-
they're not
exploit
very
development,
developed.
No,
instant response. They have everything.
They're
Yeah, it's-
nowhere near Discord. No one's using.
I mean, they, at the end of
Yeah,
the line,
that
they
was
have
the
stuff that I'm not sure I could do, like,
If
you
mock
know,
trial didn't
read,
use
read the
GroupMe
memory and
almost
figure it out.
exclusively, I
for
would
buffer
not have.
overflow.
I would
Like
never use GroupMe.
that you'd probably.
Well, I'm on it for student council, so I think they would.
But you'd
I think
probably-
there's some way.
You
that
still
they
have a,
can-
you still have
I don't know if
elasticity in
that they
your
can
mind.
use software and just got all the teams, but like
I'm trying.
there
to
might
take
be a
advantage of
way
as much
that
as
they
possible.
use it
Yeah, and to get,
so that
and to
like,
do these,
for the
you
school,
have
there might
to,
be some.
they give you a
back-end
lab
stuff.
and a fixed
I don't
amount
know.
of time.
Yeah. So
I
they
don't
kinda like
think
try
so,
hack me.
But it's like,
The weird thing is. we
if I
used
remember
to
right, I
use,
think you get the lab like
Google-
for X
Google
days.
Maps.
It's not like you have it for 2
Yes,
hours.
but it does not work with school.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
Google Chats is banned from school email. So if you log in with your school email and you try
Yeah.
chats, it will
Yeah.
they would not let.
Try hack me is kind of.
But
the,
you
other
can
guys
use
are-
Yeah, we've done that and hack
but
the
not all of
box.
the kids
in
in
the
the
box.
box
Yeah,
have a
for
personal email.
previous years.
Is
The
it
first year I
not
came
that-
back, these guys wanted,
Because
wanted
you
learn
could
how to hack.
technically, they don't
Takes
really
forever,
like
it doesn't
the
help us
idea
with
of.
competition.
Now
I used to-
It has very low return for the
I don't know.
competition, right?
It's a whole thing.
I've
I
almost,
don't-
I've almost kind of
I don't
found that
understand.
learning the other
You can
way
say
is
you
better.
can't
Learn how to
reference
defend.
teachers.
But you
learn
can
how
just email the teacher.
Yeah.
It's, and whether it's an IT defense is the best.
I feel like there's a way.
Because then you
that
learn
you
how it can go wrong,
Like.
and then by extension, how to.
They're
It's-
probably.
There's so many things, it's learn the
But-
rules before you learn how to break the rules. right?
Exactly.
I mean, if you're gonna attack and somebody blocks your
I
attack,
also
it's like,
don't understand.
what do I do
why
now?
People.
Yeah, pretty much.
you know, if you don't know what they did,
If you don't
Or
know
how
how
it-
you,
how
if
it
you don't know
blocked
how-
you.
if you don't know what failed a ban
Like a
is, then
lot
you
of
have failed as an
homeschool
IT
kids
ban.
aren't allowed to use
yeah.
Discord.
Well, I mean, I'm just
Oh,
saying,
yeah.
if you're attacking
But
and
they're
they
allowed to
block
use,
your
like-
attack and you don't
Like
understand
RT,
how,
Instagram.
because you didn't learn the
Okay,
defense side of it,
Instagram, that's crazy.
you're
You're allowed to use Instagram.
right?
There's
Yeah,
no.
And now you have to go find another target because you have no idea how
You're
to
allowed,
proceed.
I
Yeah.
So,
partly understand group
so what do you use to,
because
at your,
Discord,
thanks, what was it?
that's crazy
Yeah.
communities.
And we use
You
a
could also
standard,
just go in, search and just
exploitative
join a
rules, just
public
Kali
meeting.
Linux primarily.
whenever you-
I personally use
There's not that much parental control.
mainly because it has like 4
I'm
times the
fairly certain they do
utilities.
the same on Google.
And
So you don't use any, you don't use any paid Do you use any paid stuff?
They use Nessus,
Thank you.
but they
can,
they've like
but there's
neutered
not, I don't know.
Nessus quite a bit, which is understandable.
They
A lot-
what?
I
This is
don't
quite
know.
a bit.
neutered
Group
it.
needs
So
no.
they've taken away a lot of its more advanced componentry.
The dangerous stuff.
The
Not,
dangerous.
sorry, not group.
Yeah.
This
Which would
Okay.
give you a lot
Discord
more
has a
has allies
reputation.
to be wrong.
I suppose Discord
But
has had
At the same breath, you also don't want to take
Yeah.
out financial institutions that
but
thousands
yeah.
of people depend
that's
on.
because
Does-
people
Do you
actually
get
use it.
access to code bases to do like static analysis?
Have you done
Or do you
Discord?
just like
I
get access to the
always
network?
on
They
Matrix.
What's
gave,
that?
I helped them attack
Like
the
a open
API.
source Discord
It was
alternative.
complete- it was a
Matrix
blind
has
attack.
The,
Oh, so you didn't have the code base, you
Protocol?
just had the port.
and then
Yeah, they just told us these are the
Elementary
endpoints,
that's on
hammer away at
Right.
them.
Okay.
It's pretty nice. It's not too horrible.
Yeah.
And there's a
So
way
it's
to
Internally, we,
bridge it
like every
between
time we
Discord.
check in a
So a lot of people
the
like I think Graph
PR
OS,
repo.
their
just do
Discord is linked with their
push,
Matrix,
I
so you
think
can
we-
log in with
We
either
run some
and
graph
post
against it.
what, or type what
Gotcha.
you and you'll
And you
communicate
get
with
little
people from
findings.
different
There's a, we have a tab in GitHub for
Interesting.
findings. And
It's not
I don't know
used by,
if it'll
like,
actually
barely anybody,
refute some, I
Yeah.
think
but
there are findings that
that's
should
the
refuse
issue
the PR
with-
for, like, we think.
I like
We
Fediverse.
think you've
I
got
really
a
like the
secret,
Fediverse
you
because
know? This looks
that
an awful lot like a
fixes the
certificate.
big problem with social
You
media.
should push that.
Yeah.
Billionaire,
Well,
like
it's a pain.
everybody's on a platform.
Um,
A billionaire got
we used to have
that platform.
enterprise
Nobody wants to
GitHub, so we
leave.
hosted it
because all their
ourselves.
friends will still be on the
That's a fancy way
host.
of saying that.
That's
Like,
the
yeah,
problem
Yeah,
with like
for GitLab.
getting
No,
stuff
it's GitHub,
in
you can have your
crappy
own.
social
Yeah.
media because
And,
everybody's on
And then we moved
And then it
to
gets really
GitHub
addictive,
Enterprise
because some
Cloud,
billionaire buys
so
it
now
and
Microsoft
creates an
owns it.
addictive.
But we have our own
What is
private
Fediverse?
organization.
The Fediverse
And,
is.
As part of
I will
that,
send you some.
we
content.
used,
The Fediverse is basically
there's a
They
cool,
spit
go back,
down
good idea,
the
but I
protocol.
just can't remember the name
it's a
of it. It's on
protocol
GitHub, it's
idea,
available.
kind of like
And,
Mastodon.
And
but
it looks
really
pretty good.
good.
And we
It's
use a
like-
couple other tools. And the
It
number,
makes it so you could create
findings.
your own Twitter
um,
and you could call
funny
it.
thing, intermain domains registrar database, first time I ran it, it found it had like
Not
quarter
Twitter,
million.
and somebody else should create
Because one of the things that
another
looks for is
version
long
called
strings with high entropy.
Twitter.
Um,
But both of them would have the same post.
Whatever.
Even if you
That are a
created
mess.
an account in one,
and
the posts
our
would be on
naming
the same
conventions for
platform.
like stored procedures, or like you put a prefix on it to
So it's like-
reference the app
It's
name,
like you
and
could
then an
log into a
underscore, and
server
then like an object name
for
and
like a
a
host,
and
like
then
NVIDIA.
underscore and the
Right?
object
Like you could log into a
type.
certain server that's hosted by
They didn't
somebody.
like
And they
the
can
too
create all
long,
the
they're
GUIs, all
long
the
and
little
they,
features
They're
and
long,
stuff.
they're
and it
wordy.
didn't
Blank
understand
posts,
what,
it's kind of like an
yeah, so
RSS where it would be
so I
like
wrote-
linked across
I
different
wrote
platforms.
two regular
all
expressions into our
things together.
config.
Okay.
So you
That
can interact with
that
different people.
I
from
looked for the
across
most
platform,
common
and you
object
would use
types,
the ones
most
with the
common
features.
prefixes, and I wrote
God.
two
Yeah.
regular expressions.
That's their idea,
And
and it's
cut it
gotten
down to, like,
pretty darn good.
400
I'm using
exceptions.
Blue Sky, which is like a really nice microblogging.
We finally got it down
Yeah,
to,
Twitter alternative.
we got it fixed.
And it's
but,
actually like very, very.
but
good.
yeah, the,
SendGraph,
and then
you
the
said?
SendGraph was
I think
one. I can't
Mastodon
remember,
also uses
I
that,
could
but
find
Threads
the others.
uses the
They're all, we
top
use
stuff.
pretty much only free stuff. And,
Anyway, very interesting.
but for people that
People make
actually
jokes
had
because it sounds
secrets,
like feta cheese.
they had to use
for, like
the,
the federated land of cheeses.
which will go into your repo history and get rid of every commit, everything in your history where the secret is mentioned and wipe it,
Oh, like
which is not a Git kind of thing to do, right? Git is
Just
like, no,
on the
you're gonna
internet.
show everybody everything you ever did.
unmet.
And
it's more
very-
like a block.
it's very unviable to
Our
go and
FBI
get
agents.
rid of something, because like, what are you covering your tracks? We're all about,
So good.
we're all about,
source.
yeah, all transparency, right?
Yeah.
But BFG, which I think is named for big funny gun in some game, like,
I
Hey,
think
I-
that
I-
included
I
on
come up
Black
and search
I've
for that.
never seen that on the
What?
install
but
list.
yeah, you have to. Of course, I didn't have to do it, right? 'Cause
Okay.
ours actually came out clean. And then we eventually decided, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna leave all the history someplace else.
Well, there you go.
And we're just gonna start new repos, because then we don't have to worry about it. And but yeah, it was a big deal, people figuring out how to use BFG and clean up their repos and
It makes
It was a
sense
mess.
from a couple perspectives. I mean, secrets you don't really want just lying.
oh, no.
Even though you're supposed to cycle those, like
Oh, they're also making a Instagram alternative. That's cool.
who?
Called Pixie Fed or something. Do you know what Blue Sky is?
No.
Yeah.
Do you know what the Fediverse is?
Yeah.
Yes. Blue Sky is a Fediverse. It's a microblogging app. So Twitter alternative. It's actually pretty darn good, and I've been using it. it uses the AT protocol, which is different than what like Threads and Mastodon use.
They use something other than open auth.
They